Chapter 828 Crazy Wife 5th Ms. Godly Doctor Chapter 828 Black Iron Sand Ling Long's Request Choice US saw a piece of tungsten on the ground. It had been here for thousands of years and had not rusted at all, lying quietly on the ground. Everyone, please search for the most complete information. Quick update. She flew down and picked it up. This piece of tungsten was not big, only the size of 2 fists, but it was very heavy. Although she was not very strong, she had trained her body before. She could not lift 10,000 pounds with one hand, but she could lift 1,000 pounds. But now, she was holding such a small piece of tungsten and felt that it was very heavy. This piece of tungsten is very strange. You, let me out. Ling Long shouted from the spirit pagoda. Sima Yue called Ling Long out. When Ling Long came out and saw the tungsten, she immediately pounced on it. Wow, it really is black iron sand. Such a big piece. I'm rich. La la la, I'm so happy. Ling Long's saliva flowed out and dripped onto Yue's hand. She was disgusted and swung her hand. Ling Long hugged the black iron sand and fell to the ground. You actually threw such a precious thing on the ground. What a waste. Ling Long cried out. Sima Yue wiped the saliva off her hand and said in disdain, Aren't you a weapon spirit? Why do you still have saliva? I'm a human now. Of course I have saliva. Ling Long laughed. You don't know. This is a treasure. What is this? Sima Yue squatted down and asked curiously when she saw Ling Long was so excited that she did not want to let go. This is called black iron sand. It can be said to be the god of weapon refining. As long as you put the size of a fingernail into it, it will be at least a divine weapon. Ling Long said excitedly. It's that powerful? Yes, my body is only half the size of it. I never thought that there would be such a big piece here. I'm rich. If I can integrate it into my body, I will definitely be able to progress further. Ling Long hugged the mysterious iron sand and did not let go. She wished she could drill herself into it. Hearing this, Sima Yue's eyes lit up. She picked up the black iron sand and observed it carefully. Seeing Ling Long lying on top of it, she flicked her head. You've already taken shape. Can you still continue refining? Of course. You see, Little Spirit was reforged by Mo Sha into his current state. Exquisite said. However, I'm afraid it won't be easy to refine you, right? It might not be easy for others, but it won't be difficult for you. Exquisite looked at her eagerly. Don't look at me like that. I don't know how to refine weapons, so there's no point in looking at me like that. Sima Yue said, I'll get Fatty to refine it for you later. No, if it's Fatty, I'm afraid it'll take several hundred years, Exquisite protested. Then let Mo Sha refine it. Sima Yue suggested again. Without waiting for Exquisite to refute, she rejected the idea herself. Mo Sha's situation is still very bad. If I let him refine it, I'm afraid he won't succeed. That's why. Only you can refine it. Exquisite said. But I don't know how. If you don't know how, then learn. Refining weapons isn't something you're born with. Exquisite said. You're so good at refining pills and weapons. Learning how to refine weapons shouldn't be difficult. Fatty is very talented in refining weapons. He is talented, but he hasn't reached that level. That's why he still has to wait for many years. Only you can meet my requirements. Exquisite said. Why? Because you're my contracted master. We're connected. Just based on this point, you can save a lot of trouble. Exquisite said. If you want to find someone else, I'm afraid there aren't many in this world who can do it. But even if they can, if you dare to tell anyone about this, I believe that someone will come to snatch it away tomorrow. Not to mention exposing me. Sigh. If that's the case, then I'm the only one who can learn it. Sima Yue said helplessly, Luckily I've been training my body all these years. My body's strength is still passable. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to learn this. But what? Sima Yue looked at Exquisite sadly. The image of refining weapons is too unsightly. It affects my image too much. And for someone like me who's just here to be a bystander, I can't use it to earn money. Sigh. I really don't want to learn. Exquisite almost fainted when she heard that. The reason why this girl was so conflicted was because her image of refining weapons was too unsightly. She flew in front of Yue and pounced on her face. Her two small hands kept rubbing her face as she shouted, "Refine weapons, refine weapons. Go learn how to refine weapons." Sima Yue slapped her away with a palm and left with the black iron sand. She thought that after the competition ended, she could take a look at what Fatty had seen before. Who asked her not to expose Exquisite and the black iron sand? Exquisite twisted in the air and flew back. She landed on Yo-Yue's head and kept rolling around or playing with her hair. She was so excited that she couldn't stop. Sima Yu flew for a while in the little realm and realized that the little realm could be said to have been abandoned. Many medicinal ingredients grew densely and unevenly, unlike the spirit pagoda, which had little spirit taking care of it. And there weren't any spirit beasts here. There weren't even many animals. Maybe it was because they weren't exposed in the fog. This place is really big. I don't know how the Azure Great Emperor refined it into a subsidiary little realm. Although there were many little realms in the world, those that could be refined by humans and opened by humans were usually not big. She didn't take a close look at Wu Lingyu's little realm, but she knew about San Yang's little realm. The total area was about the same as hers. From what she knew, only those hidden clans lived in such a big little realm. After walking around, she left the little realm. Coincidentally, Han Miao Shuang and the others came back. "Senior sister, senior brother, you went out again?" She leaned against the door and greeted them. "I went out with Xiao Xiao." Han Miao Shuang said. "Has the little realm been refined?" Sima Yue shook her head. "The capacity of this little realm is much bigger than I thought. Then we're rich. There must be a lot of treasures inside." Han Miao Shuang said. "I'll bring you in to take a look." She brought the two of them in. They were excited when they saw the vast little realm. Damn, this little realm is so big. There are so many things that haven't been developed yet. TSK. When you've completely refined it, it won't be any worse than those hidden clans' little realms. Han Miao Shuang sighed. It's a pity that there are so many herbs. If they were taken care of properly, they would grow much better. Xiao Xiao looked at the messy herbs and felt his heart ache. Many of the herbs here are from ancient times. Many of them have disappeared for many years. I didn't expect there to be so many here. Han Miao Shuang's eyes lit up. It just so happens that Master brought back many ancient pill recipes. We could try it together and see if we can refine those ancient pills. Chapter 828, Mysterious Iron Sand, Ling Long's Request. Chapter 829. Sima Yue nodded. "We'll try it after the 3 meetings." Sima Yue nodded. "Let's give it a try after the 3 great meetings." "All right, you still have to attend the 3 great meetings." Han Miaoshuang patted her forehead. "How about this? When you go out, we won't go out. We'll just stay here and study the ancient pill recipe." Han Miaoshuang patted her forehead. "How about this? When you go out, we won't go out. We'll stay here and study the ancient pill recipe. How about it?" Sima Yue glanced at Su Xiao Xiao. Seeing that she didn't object, she said, "All right. If you need anything, call me. I should be able to hear you." Letting them study the ancient pill recipe and practice alchemy here was better than doing nothing outside, feeling depressed and sad all day long. Anyway, she didn't lack these herbs. There were more kinds in the Soul Tower than here. Just treat it as a game for them. She went out alone and then went to the Soul Tower to see Xiao Qi. Xiao Qi was still shrouded in a white mist. Fatty Chu and the others were all meditating and cultivating beside her. Each of them had a small array to protect themselves, not worried that others would affect them. Feeling her arrival, Sima Yulin opened his eyes. "You're here." "Yeah, I came to see how Xiao Qi's evolution is going." Sima Yue said, "How's your cultivation?" "It's already at the point of advancement. Once we go out, we should be able to advance." Sima Yulin said, "Xiao Qi is indeed a cultivation treasure. We're just by her side, and our cultivation speed is already much faster than before. If not, why would so many people come to the academy to snatch her?" Sima Yue said, "I think that since your eldest Shi Xiang said that he would report Xiao Qi's information, Her identity should have already been exposed. Sima Yulin said, now that you're in the academy, those people can't do anything to you. But once you go out, they will most likely do something to you. I guessed as much, Sima US said. But if they dare to come find me, I'll make sure they never return. Fortunately, those people won't spread the news for now. If more people know, I'm afraid it'll be hard to defend against wave after wave of attacks. That's why raising one's strength is the way to go. Sima US sighed. However, she wasn't in a hurry to advance. Her strength had increased too quickly in the past 2 years, and it had all been through external help. She wanted to settle down for 2 more years. Otherwise, if her strength increased too quickly, it would cause her spiritual power to become superficial, which would be bad for her later development. We also need to raise our strength as soon as possible, Sima Yulin said. It's not good to be weak in the continent. Sima US said with a sigh. So many people die every day. It's all over the place. If you're weak, you'll just be trampled on. There's still 1 more month before the 3 Great Assembly begins. You guys still have 1 year. And Fatty and the others all said that they'll be practicing smithing after coming out of seclusion. They won't be cultivating anymore. Little 7 has been evolving for a few years now. I wonder when he'll be done. It should be soon. I feel that Little 7's aura is a bit chaotic recently. It's not as stable as before. He should be in the late stages of evolution. Sima Yulin said, That's good. The Academy has already asked me about her situation several times. If she doesn't go out soon, they'll probably think that I've taken her for myself. You're stupid. A strange yet familiar voice rang in her ears. Little 7? Sima Yue called out uncertainly. If anyone dares to doubt you, just punch them. That voice rang out again. It was Little 7's slightly older voice. Little 7, you're done evolving? Soon. Hearing you speak, I couldn't help but say, All right, I'm going to continue. After saying that, Little 7 fell into silence again. Sima Yoyue's mouth twitched. Did this fellow wake up just to scold her? Little 7's aura became even more restless. More and more mist seeped out of his body. Her instability was felt by the people cultivating beside her, and they woke up one after another. Fifth brother, when did you come? Sima Yue asked with a smile. I've been here for a while. I talked to Yulin for a while. Sima Yue said. What's wrong with Little 7? Fatty Chu asked when he saw Little 7's unstable state. Little 7 is undergoing the final evolution, so his aura is unstable. Little 7 is about to succeed. I wonder how long it will take this time. Sima Yue was a little worried when she saw Little 7 like this. It'll be fine, Beigong Tang said. Beigong Tang and the others chatted with Sima Yue about the outside world, and then they went back to their own matters. Only Sima Yue was left there to watch over Little 7. She couldn't see Little 7's appearance, but she could feel that she wasn't feeling well. The white fog that enveloped her would increase, and sometimes it would be absorbed back by Little 7. This repeated over and over again, causing Sima Yoyue's breathing to fluctuate. After a few days, she saw that the fog around Little 7 was expanding. From afar, it looked like a big ball of cotton candy. Her aura was constantly overflowing, and the fluctuations alarmed everyone in the tower. Is it going to end? Everyone flew over, and seeing Little 7's continuous energy eruption, they quickly flew away. Boom! The energy that erupted from the cotton candy caught everyone off guard, and they only had time to protect themselves. As for the houses and whatnot, they were all destroyed. As the energy dispersed, the remaining fog slowly retracted, and then it was all absorbed back by Little 7. When everyone opened their eyes from the sky, full of dust, the white lump of meat that was as tall as a hill had turned into a 10-year-old baby. Little 7's facial features were much more mature than before. She changed into a white tassel dress, and her 2 little braids were changed into a bun. The rest of her long hair was draped over her back, and she actually looked like a little beauty. Ew, I've run up again. Little 7 flew towards Sima Yue and jumped in her arms. Sima Yue looked at the current Little 7, and she felt like she had a daughter who had just grown up. Stroking her long hair, she said happily. It's been so long, and you've finally evolved successfully. Yu, I've become stronger again. This time, when I meet those people again, I'll be able to defeat them. If I meet those people again, I can help you send them flying. Although she was dressed like a lady, the moment she opened her mouth, her manly nature was immediately revealed. It's good that you can take care of your own safety. Sima Yue pinched her little face. My evolution this time has brought me a qualitative leap, and my strength has increased a lot. Little Seven waved her fist. Why is it Little Two here? Was he taken away by someone the other day? No. Little Two was taken away by her people. But don't worry, he's very safe now. Sima Yue said. Oh. Little Seven was momentarily disappointed, but then she raised her face and smiled. Are old Yuan and the others in the academy? I want to show them what I've become after my evolution. Those guys always laughed at me for not being able to evolve. Now I'm going to blind their eyes. Chapter 830. Principal Yuan and the rest are not in the academy anymore. Sima Yue said, not only are they not here, my master and teacher Gu are not here either. Even someone as lazy as Su Jin would go out. Where do they go? Little Seven asked. I don't know where it went either. I just heard from Director Mao and the others that it was there. They also said that the news from there can't be sent in. It can only be sent out. Sima Yue said, a lot of things have happened since you started evolving. I'll tell you about it later. Let's think about what to do first. Little Seven followed her gaze and chuckled when he saw the living area that had been reduced to rubble. This, cough, I didn't do it on purpose. I know you didn't mean it. Sima Yue patted her head. But everyone's house is gone. We need to build a new one. Let me help too. Although she had been evolving for the past few days, she was still conscious. She watched as they joked around, listened to their conversations, learned about their past, and watched as they worked hard in their cultivation. Slowly, she began to treat herself as one of them. Previously, when they went to Zhongzhou for a mission, she did not really integrate into the team. She was only there to follow Yue. Sure, although it was said to be rebuilding together, in fact, most of it was done by Little Spirit. For example, they had to first move the powder away. This was done by Little Spirit. Another example was that Little Spirit was the one who transported the materials over. For convenience, they even expanded the living area and built a large number of houses. The former house was a row of connected houses, like the former student apartments. Moreover, there weren't many rooms. After the number of people increased, a few houses were built at the side. Now, it was changed to individual courtyards. Those who were willing to live together could live in a suite. Those who were unwilling could build their own courtyard. In order to prevent more people from coming in, they even built a courtyard as a backup. However, those daily necessities couldn't be obtained in a short period of time. They had to go out and buy them. When they were building the living quarters, Sima Yue told Little Seven about what happened after she evolved. Only then did Little Seven realize that she had gone through so much when she was not around. Yu, I won't betray you. Little Seven clapped her hands and said seriously. Although Yu talked about Jiang Junxian, mostly about how sad Han Miao Shuang and the others were, she could feel that she was very sad too. Sima Yue patted Little Seven's head and said, What do you plan to do next? What do you mean? Little Seven looked at her in confusion. You said before that you followed us because you felt that there was an opportunity to evolve. Now that you've evolved, you can't follow me anymore. Sima Yue said, Your information has been exposed. If you continue to follow us, you'll be in danger. Why can't I follow you? Little Seven pouted. I've become very powerful now. Ordinary people aren't my match. Don't worry, it won't be dangerous. It might still be safe for now, but that's because the Black Dragon cult hasn't spread the news about you. Sima Yue said, If they find out that they haven't succeeded, they will definitely spread the news about you. By then, everyone in the continent will come and catch you. Yu, are you afraid that I'll bring you trouble? Little Seven asked. What nonsense are you talking about? Sima Yue rubbed her head. You're a cultivation treasure that everyone wants. Who would despise you? But you've never treated me as a treasure. Little Seven said, You don't even look at me with that kind of passion. Since when? You must be thinking that I'll bring danger to you, so you want to chase me away. Little Seven complained, feeling wronged. How could that be? Sima Yue saw her expression and said helplessly, I didn't say that I want to chase you away. I'm just asking you what you plan to do next. My plan is to follow you. Don't you want to build up your power? I want to go to the central and inner regions to explore the world. Once Little Seven heard that Yue wasn't chasing her away, she immediately became happy. You're the sect's treasure. If you follow me, will the sect agree? I have a deal with the sect. They protect me, and I'll provide them with my aura to help the students cultivate. Little Seven said, also, I'll leave a part of it in the sect. It won't affect them. Even if something happens to me, I won't die. Sima Yue thought about how Hua Hua separated the main route. She understood Little Seven's motive. Then I'll bring you to see Principal Fan and the rest. They care about you. Sima Yue said. Okay. Sima Yue didn't wait for the house to be completed and brought Little Seven out. They first went to see Mao, San Quan, and Fan Lei, then went to the Little Realm. Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao Xiao were studying the ancient pill recipe. When they saw Sima Yue bring Little Seven in, they were stunned. Then they recognized her. Little Seven? You've evolved successfully? Han Miao Shuang walked over and pinched Little Seven's chubby face, saying happily, Didn't you see me grow up? Little Seven said, Stop pinching. My face is swollen. How can it be swollen so easily? Han Miao Shuang said, I didn't expect you to be the eye of the earth. You actually hid it from us. If it wasn't for what Jiang Junxian said before he left, they wouldn't know. You didn't ask. Little Seven said proudly. Who asked you to not be honest? Han Miao Shuang continued to pinch her face. Senior sister, I just heard a piece of news from Instructor Mao. Sima Yue said, What news? Jiang clan's people in Heavenly City, other than Jiang Junxian, everyone else has been killed. They're all dead? Jiang Cheng didn't. Sima Yue said. It said that he risked his life to bring Kong Junshul away. Although Jiang Cheng's strength isn't weak, but to be able to escape from Shi Qianji's hands, he's quite capable. Han Miao Shuang said. I think the Jiang clan's people are the ones who are going crazy. They came to seek justice, but they were killed. They almost killed their precious young master. Sima Yue said, There's no use being angry. Even if they know that Black Dragon's people did it, they can't do anything. They don't know where Black Dragon's headquarters is, and their people come and go without a trace. They can't even find someone to take revenge on. Han Miao Shuang was disgusted with Jiang clan after knowing what happened to Jiang Junxian. Shi Qianji didn't hide his methods from them. The Jiang clan should be able to recognize him. Sima Yue said, I'm going out to buy some daily necessities. Do you want to come along? No, we're still studying this pill recipe. Does Little Seven want to go too? Han Miao Shuang asked. I'll go with you. Little Seven said. If Shi Qianji is still in the city, Black Dragon's people must be there too. Little Seven, be careful when you go out. Han Miao Shuang reminded. Chapter 831. Since the people from the Black Dragon cult already know of Little Seven's existence and appeared here, they must be here for Little Seven. Han Miao Shuang said, Let them come. I was just thinking of sparring with them. Little Seven clenched her fists as if she was sharpening a knife. Little Seven, aren't you the eye of the earth? Why do I feel like you're the victorious fighting Buddha? Sima Yue looked at her helplessly. What's victorious fighting Buddha? Little Seven blinked at her. But no matter what it is, it sounds pretty good. I'll be called Victorious Fighting Buddha from now on. The Victorious Fighting Buddha is invincible. Can you do it? I can at that time just watch. Little Seven raised her chin and said confidently. Sima Yue smiled and didn't take her words to heart. She said goodbye to Han Miao Shuang and the others and left. Big Wei and Little Wei were already very familiar with her. When they saw her, they didn't say anything and directly sent her out. Yue and Little Seven walked out of the academy gates. Little Seven grabbed her hand and said, Someone is following us. Follow me if you want. Let's go shopping. Sima Yue dragged Little Seven to go shopping, as if she did not notice those people at all. Divine Envoy Mu and his two subordinates watched them come out and leave from the corner of the street. Sir Oracle, that is Sima Yue, but the child beside her doesn't seem to be the Eye of Earth. Didn't Right Emissary say that the Eye of Earth was a child of 4 or 5 years old? We can't completely deny it now. Divine Envoy Mu said. Jiang Junxian also said that the Eye of Earth was evolving when he left. This might be the result of the evolution. We've been here for so long, and it wasn't easy for her to come out. Whether that child is the Eye of the Earth or not, we'll know once we capture her and interrogate her. Another subordinate said, Divine Envoy Mu, should we follow? Divine Envoy Mu looked at the gates of the academy and said, send people to follow them. If there's a chance, make a move. Yes, Sir Divine Envoy. The two of them retreated and contacted the others to take action. In a tea house on the other side of the street, Shi Qianji was leaning on the railing while a man in black stood beside him. Lord Divine Envoy Mu has already prepared to attack them. That person said respectfully. I saw it. Shi Qianji picked up the teacup and placed a black pill into it. He waited for the pill to melt before drinking it. What are we going to do? Do what? Don't do anything. We're just here to supervise, not to help. Shi Qianji said. However, let them be prepared. Who knows when they will make a move? Lord Messenger, they are still in the punishment period. Shi Qianji slapped his head. If you didn't mention it, I would have forgotten. Give them the antidote. Tell them that this is a special case and that it will end here. If you fail again, you won't get off so easily. Yes, Sir Envoy. Go. Shi Qianji threw a bottle of antidote to him and waved his hand to let him go. The last time he asked them to kill the Jiang family, he didn't expect Jiang Cheng to escape. Since they didn't complete the mission, they naturally had to be punished. His punishment method was simple, which was to make them eat poison. When he felt that the punishment was enough, he would give them the antidote. However, this method was simple, but there were many poisons and the symptoms were different. At the same time, he was very open-minded. Although they were poisoned, they could find someone to neutralize the poison. As long as they could neutralize the poison, they would be considered capable and the punishment would end. In the beginning, there were people who tried to find someone to neutralize the poison, but none of them succeeded. Later on, they found out that the poison was self-made by him. Even if they wanted to find an antidote, they couldn't. Shi Qianji played with the teacup as he smiled. I like to see if you're as powerful as he says you are. Sima Yue wanted to buy daily necessities, so she could only leave the city center and go to the outermost residential area to buy them. She and Little Seven left the bustling area and turned a few streets. When they passed through a small alley, they saw a man in black standing in the middle of the road. Yue looked back and saw two men in black standing silently at the entrance. They're all Monarch-level experts. She assessed the other party's strength. They're just 3 Monarch-ranked experts. I will take care of them. Little Seven's eyes lit up as she looked eager to fight. I will leave it to you. Leave it to me. Little Seven clasped her hands together. This was her signature move. Okay. Sima Yue stood at the side and condensed her spirit energy to protect herself. She was prepared to watch the battle below. Little Seven stretched out her finger and pointed at the man in front of her. She hooked her finger and said, Come, Little Grand, and we'll show you my power. The man's gaze darkened. He didn't let down his guard just because Little Seven was a child. He quickly condensed his spirit energy. Yue felt a majestic force pressing down on her. However, Little Seven didn't seem to feel it. She didn't use her spirit energy to protect herself and just rushed forward with her fists raised. Little Seven, be careful. Yue just called out when she saw Little Seven rush forward and disperse the opponent's spirit technique with one punch. Her mouth opened wide in shock. This was too fierce. The opponent didn't expect Little Seven to be so powerful. She dispersed his spirit technique with one punch. He was slightly stunned. However, Little Seven had already run in front of him and punched him. The man reacted quickly and retreated quickly in an attempt to avoid her attack. However, Little Seven kicked her legs and followed closely behind. She flipped her palm and casually slapped his chest, sending him flying. PFFF. Although the man used his spirit energy to protect his body, his internal organs were still shattered. He spat out blood and flesh. Then his eyes rolled back and he fainted. Sima Yoyue's jaw almost dropped to the ground. She knocked out a monarch-ranked expert with one punch. She looked at Little Seven's small hand. When she was holding it, it was very soft. How did she have so much strength? Not only did she break the opponent's defense, she even knocked him out. On the other side of the alley, when the two men saw Little Seven kill their man in one move, their expressions changed. They condensed their spirit energy and attacked together. I'll kill whoever comes. If there's another pair, I'll kill both of them. She stomped her foot and flew forward. She passed through their spirit techniques and arrived in front of them in a few breaths. 10 minutes later, Yue and Little Seven walked out of the alley hand in hand. Behind them, there were 3 balls of flames burning. How is it? I told you I'm very powerful. Little Seven raised her chin proudly. Yes, Little Seven is much more powerful than me. I'll have to rely on you to protect me in the future. Sima Yue smiled and said, since you're so sincere, I'll reluctantly agree. Chapter 832. The following is provided for you. 832. Please enjoy. When Shi Qianji received the news, he was researching a new poison. He paused for a moment and sighed with a smile. Let's not talk about little junior brother Jun Xian. Just this Eye of the Earth is not an easy character to deal with. This time, the one surnamed Mu is going to return empty-handed. They sent 3 people, but they were dealt with by the Eye of the Earth alone. If this news spreads, they will definitely be ridiculed by others. It's more than just ridicule. Shi Qianji continued to pour the refined venom into the container and sneered, You're obviously all killers, but you're learning from those people to openly capture people. He deserved to be killed. Wooden Bridge deserved it. Send this news back and have Mu Qiao come see me. Yes. Poochie, the venom mixed together, emitting a pungent smell. The overflowing bubbles indicated that the fusion had failed again. Looking at the mess on the table, Shi Qianji didn't immediately clean it up. He sighed faintly. This situation is still a little complicated. This is going to be difficult. Sima Yu and Little Seven went to purchase a large batch of daily necessities, then returned to the city center. They went to Memory Restaurant to eat a lot of delicious food and also bought a lot of things to pack for Han Miaoshuan to bring back. When they left Memory Restaurant, the sky was already dark. After walking 2 streets, when they passed by the big banyan tree where they first saw Shi Qianji, they saw a certain someone leaning against the side of the road and counting the stars out of boredom. What a coincidence, we meet again. Shi Qianji saw Sima Yue and greeted her with a smile. Sima Yue looked at Shi Qianji and instinctively became alert. Shi Qianji? I'm afraid it's not a coincidence that you're here. Shi Qianji saw Sima Yue looking at him warily and said, Don't look at me like that. I'm a good person. Do you think your words are convincing? Sima Yue asked. I released your bees. Shi Qianji said, If it was in the past, I would definitely kill them all. Didn't you want to use them to send me a message? Sima Yue asked. Wouldn't it be useless after the transmission? Shi Qianji blinked his eyes. He meant that he was being merciful by sparing their lives. Where is Jiang Junxian? Sima Yue asked. In the main sect. Are you going to look for him? Shi Qianji asked. He misses the 3 of you very much. Is that so? Sima Yue smiled, but there was no joy in her voice. Then tell him that we don't want him. All right, I will definitely pass on the message. Shi Qianji smiled, but he had other plans in his heart. Little Seven, let's go. Sima Yue told Little Seven. Don't rush, let's discuss something. Shi Qianji walked in front of Sima Yue and blocked her way. Didn't you say it was a coincidence? Sima Yue looked up at her. A coincidence can also be discussed. Shi Qianji said, but I'm not very interested in what you want to discuss. Don't be like that. I haven't said it yet. Don't be in a hurry to reject me. Shi Qianji said, maybe you'll be interested in what I say. I think that the possibility is too small. Sima Yue said, use her in exchange for 50 years of peace in the inner regions. Shi Qianji directly stated his conditions. Impossible. Sima Yue rejected without thinking. No matter what it was, using Little Seven in exchange was impossible. Little Seven, let's go. She pulled Little Seven and left, ignoring Shi Qianji. If he stopped her again, she was not afraid to fight him. I haven't finished speaking. Shi Qianji's figure flashed and blocked her path again. I said, I won't use Little Seven to exchange for anything. I'm not going to the inner regions now, so I don't need your protection. Also, I'm afraid you don't have the energy to protect me. Sima Yue said coldly. Get out of my way, otherwise don't blame me for being rude. Don't be anxious. I said I want her, not that you have to hand her over to me. Shi Qianji said. I just want her to come with me, then I'll send her back to you. Send her back? Sima Yue looked at him, her eyes full of disdain. Do you think that Little Seven can come back if she goes with you? Tell me, do you believe your own words? Of course I do. Of course I believe in myself. Shi Qianji said. I'm a very honest person. I never lie. How thick-skinned. Little Seven, beat him up. Sima Yue said. Wait, I'm very sincere. Shi Qianji said. How about this? Little Seven doesn't have to go. I'll bring someone over. Little Seven, you help treat her, and we'll call it a deal. How about that? You want me to treat someone? Little Seven looked at Shi Qianji. Are you stupid? I hate cutting my own flesh to save others. You want me to save someone? Little Seven, don't listen to his nonsense. Sima Yue said. I know. I'm not stupid. Little Seven said seriously. I'm making a deal with you. I'm not asking you to save someone for free. Shi Qianji said. 50 years of peace. It's easy to say, but only those who have stayed in the inner regions know how difficult it is. Shi Qianji said. Also, our deal isn't just that. You have to look at the deeper benefits. What benefits? Little Seven asked. You see, if we want to ensure your safety, we naturally won't tell anyone about you. Otherwise, we'll attract trouble. Wouldn't we be looking for trouble? Shi Qianji said. Are you threatening us? Sima Yue said coldly. I'm not threatening you. I'm negotiating with you in a friendly manner. Shi Qianji said. If you can retract the poisonous aura that is constantly emitting from your body, I might be able to believe that you are friendly. Sima Yue said coldly. I've been found out. Shi Qianji wasn't embarrassed at all. This is a high-quality perfume. It's an added perfume. Sima Yue said. It's a pity that it's useless to me. I know it's useless. Shi Qianji smiled. You know it's useless, but you still use it. Are you stupid? Little Seven blinked her big eyes at him. Her gaze was saying that he was stupid. Shi Qianji looked at Little Seven speechlessly. Why couldn't he keep up with her reaction? He waved his sleeves, and the faint fragrance on his body disappeared instantly. I think you can consider it. Our conditions are actually very good for you. You might think that we're threatening you, but on the other hand, our conditions are for your sake. If outsiders know that she's the eye of the earth, I don't have to tell you what your future will be like. This is for her sake. Sima Yue was silent. Shi Qianji was right. If Little Seven's identity was exposed, countless forces would send people to snatch her away. By then, she would be in greater danger. I love my academy. Actively cooperate with the special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you. Chapter 833. Even so, she didn't want to use Little Seven as a bargaining chip. I can't promise you that. What if you bring a dead person over? How am I supposed to save her? That won't happen. Why would I do something so pointless? Shi Qianji said. The doctor said that as long as he smells your scent, he can cure her. Don't blame me if he can't cure her. Your agreement with Yu is still valid. All right, it's a deal. Sima Yu saw that Little Seven agreed so hurriedly and pulled her hand, saying, Little Seven, this concerns your safety. How can you agree so easily? Little Seven smiled at her. I know you have a lot of things to do. How can I drag you down? Although his threat makes me happy, he's right. If news about me doesn't spread, it'll be much more convenient for us in the future. Of course, I'm not afraid of those people. If they come, I'll take them on. Little Seven, you know who he is. I only agreed because I know who he is. Like you said, they have some status in the inner area. If they can protect you for 50 years, you won't have to be afraid of anything. But if you want to go to the inner area, it'll probably be 100 years later. We don't even know if they'll still be around by then. Now that they had the demon sword, there would definitely be people eyeing them. It was possible that their entire clan would be wiped out. When Shi Qianji heard her words, the corners of his mouth twitched. He was still here, okay? Did she have to be so blunt? It doesn't matter to us. We won't suffer any direct losses, but it'll save us a lot of trouble. Don't worry, I'll take care of this. Right, I have one more request. What request? If we meet with danger before we go to the inner area, you must send someone over. Little Seven requested. Shi Qianji hesitated. We don't have many people here. If we call them over, they won't make it in time. If we do that, we'll be your bodyguards for decades, or even centuries. Of course, it's only if it's related to you. If it's because of me that you leaked our information and put us in danger, you have to send someone over. Otherwise, if you were to accidentally leak our information, we would be in danger. Not to mention the inner region, we might not even be able to keep our lives. Then wouldn't the 50-year agreement be in vain? Shi Qianji thought for a moment, then nodded and said, All right, I will go back and tell my master. Sima Yu had no choice but to nod in agreement. Without the harassment of those forces, it was naturally much more convenient for them to do whatever they wanted. Then I'll go and bring them over now. How do I contact you then? Shi Qianji asked. After Sima Yue gave him her contact details, he left in satisfaction. Little Seven, have you already decided on this matter? Sima Yue asked. I've decided. After all, this was the Academy's territory, so there was no need to worry about anything happening. When the time comes, we'll have to establish a force. If we're constantly being pestered, how are we going to establish a force? That's why this is the best way. But he's clearly threatening you. It's still uncomfortable. Sima Yue said. Although with this agreement, they won't dare to leak the information, but it's still hard to guarantee anything. That's why we have to establish a force as soon as possible. Little Seven swung her hand. Once we have a force, they can protect me. The Academy can protect you too. They can protect you better than a new force. I've stayed in the Academy for long enough. They've always made me stay in the Academy and not let me go out. It's very boring. Compared to that, I'd rather follow you. Yeah, don't tell me you want me to go back to the Academy. That's right. I'm just stating a fact. Sima Yue said. Compared to that, I prefer a more exciting life. But when can we start establishing a force? I can't wait. Let's wait until the competition is over. Sima Yue said, we have a lot of things to do recently. Once those things are settled, we'll start preparing to establish a force. The Academy competition was one thing, but the lack of news from Wu Lingyu made her worried. Didn't you ask those people to go? Those 10 brothers. Little Seven asked. Since there were already people to settle it, why wait until she was done? Feng Ji and the rest? Sima Yue thought for a while and said, I asked them to find a place to establish the sect. Once the location is chosen, we'll be able to plan for the future. Where are you going to choose? The central region or the outer region? It's up to them. We don't have to care if it's the inner region, the middle region, or the outer region. Sima Yue said. Recently, they've sent back a few locations. Once we're done, we'll go take a look. Once we've decided, we'll recruit people. All right. Anyway, the Academy competition is in a few days. Let's go back. After returning to the Academy, Sima Yue took a table full of food and went to the little realm to give some benefits to the 2 people who were immersed in their research. She also told them about the agreement with Shi Qianji. Then, she went to the Spirit Pagoda and distributed the daily necessities she bought. After chatting with everyone for a while, she went into closed-door cultivation to prepare for the upcoming competition. Time passed in a flash. The long-awaited 3 great meetings was finally here. On the eve of the competition, Sima Yue went to a remote mountain in the Academy. Then, she called a group of people out of the Spirit Pagoda. Just as everyone was outside, rays of light shone down from the sky, enveloping the 10 people who were advancing together. This scene is really spectacular. Sima Yue and Little Seven stood at the side and exclaimed. They actually all advanced. Little Seven exclaimed. After they finished advancing, everyone didn't go in and return to the academy together. Yue Shui Rong walked out from the crowd and came in front of Yue, saying, Mao is looking for you in the office. He looked for you a few times, but didn't see you. Director Mao is looking for me? What's the matter? Sima Yue asked in surprise. Chapter 834. Shuirong shook her head and said, I don't know. It seems to be related to the 3 great meetings in 2 days. You'll know when you get there. I got it. Thank you. Sima Yue smiled. What are you thanking me for? You've helped us so much. I'm just passing on a message. Shuirong smiled and nodded at them before returning to her team. Sima Yue said to the others, The principal is looking for me. I'll go over first. Go ahead. We'll head back to the dormitory first and find out if anything has happened in the academy recently. Then I'll look for you later. Sima Yue went to Mao Sanquan's office. He gently knocked on the door twice, and after hearing a response from inside, he pushed the door open and entered. Director Mao, they said that you were looking for me. Sima Yue said. Yes. Mao Sanquan was looking at the schedule of the 3 major competitions. When he saw Sima Yue enter, he put down the documents in his hands and said, Have a seat. Sima Yue sat down on a chair and looked at Mao Sanquan, waiting for him to speak. Yue, have you not been in the academy recently? I sent people to look for you, but they couldn't find you. Mao Sanquan didn't get straight to the point, but asked her something else. Recently, I've been researching ancient pill recipes with Senior Sister and the others in Little Black Lotus Realm, Sima Yue answered. In any case, the Academy knew about this little realm, so it wasn't a bad idea to use it as a shield. Ancient pill formula? It's the pill formula that Master left behind. Sima Yue said. Old Su did bring back some ancient pill formulas once. Mao Sanquan said, Now that you've obtained the Little Black Lotus Realm, there are many ancient medicinal herbs inside. What are the results of the research? Not yet. Sima Yue said. Take your time. There's no rush. Ancient pill formulas are much more difficult than current pill formulas. It's normal to spend more time. Mao Sanquan consoled. Yes. Mao Sanquan looked at Sima Yue sitting upright and said, Do you know why I called you here today? I don't know, Sima Yue answered honestly. I called you here today to tell you that your professional matches have been canceled. Mao Sanquan said. What? Why? Sima Yue looked at Mao Sanquan in shock. Don't be nervous. Listen to me. Mao Sanquan said, We are doing this for the benefit of the Academy. The Academy will give you 1,000 cultivation points. Why would my participation in the school's competition harm the school's interests? Sima Yue looked at him in confusion. Did old Yuan mention anything about the pill competition to you? Mao Sanquan asked. Sima Yue shook her head and said, Principal Yuan only said that he would need my help if the Academy needed anything. He didn't say anything else. Then he just gave you a little bit of information. Mao Sanquan said, Director Mao, what is a pill competition? Why is it related to my participation in the competition? Sima Yue asked. Listen to me slowly. Mao Sanquan said, This pill competition is the highest level competition in the Alchemist Association. According to the final results, the participating powers will be ranked. What's the use of this ranking? It's the same as the rankings in our academy. The better the ranking, the higher the status. Mao Sanquan said, What kind of powers are going to participate in the pill competition? Sima Yue asked. The Alchemist Association will send out invitation cards. Only powers or individuals with invitation cards can go. Mao Sanquan said, Basically, all the famous alchemists in the outer and middle regions will be invited. Some powers in the inner regions will also participate. You said that the pill competition's ranking will affect the powers' ranking. What's going on? In the Alchemist Association, there is a pill alliance. The results of the pill competition will affect the pill alliance's position. Mao Sanquan said, Pill alliance? What's that? The Alchemist Association is an organization for alchemists. The Pill Alliance is an alliance for powers with good alchemists. Mao Sanquan explained. What's the use of the Pill Alliance? Nothing. PFFF Sima Yu spat out the tea that she had just drunk without a care for her image. Since it's useless, why do you care so much about this competition? In our eyes, it's useless. But the higher the ranking, the higher the status in the alchemy world. Sometimes, it's a little useful when distributing resources. Mao Sanquan said, but what does this have to do with me? The Academy plans to send you and your fellow disciples to participate in the pill competition this time. Then what does this have to do with the 3 great conventions? It won't affect the pill competition if I participate in the 3 great conventions. Sima Yue did not understand. She could participate in the Academy's competition and then participate in the pill competition. The time did not conflict. Mao Sanquan was silent for a while, then said, actually, our Academy is about to be kicked out of the Pill Alliance. Although we feel that the Pill Alliance is useless, it's different from being kicked out by others. We can't keep our face. Sima Yue felt that there was a thunderstorm. There would be a time when the Academy would be kicked out. Why would he be kicked out? If we don't get into the top 100 after 3 consecutive pill competitions, we will be kicked out. The Academy has already done it twice. Yes, if we still can't get into the top 100 this time, we will be kicked out. Aren't the students and teachers of the Academy quite powerful? Can't we get into the top 100 like this? There is an age limit. Only those who are under 250 years old can participate. Although our teachers are good, they are not old enough. And those students, the talent of the recent recruits is indeed a little lacking. And what? There is a power that is fighting with us for the Pill Alliance's quota. If we go down, they can go up. And the other party really wants to enter the Pill Alliance, so they use some underhanded methods against us. Mao Sanquan said, last time, our most talented student was tricked before the competition and could not participate. Director Mao, after saying so much, what does this have to do with not letting me participate in the 3 great conventions? We found out that the other party sent people to infiltrate the Academy. As the dark horse of this competition, don't expose your strength before the pill competition. Didn't I already expose myself during the entrance test? But he doesn't know about you. The news we intercepted did not mention you. Maybe you didn't pay attention to the truth of the entrance test. Since you know who it is, why don't you just find out who that student is? We only found out about this a few days ago. At that time, we only intercepted the news and did not find out who the other party sent. We are all students of the Academy, so we can't wrong anyone for no reason. When Yue came out of Mao Sanquan's office, she had already been disqualified from the competition and could only participate in the ranking list. Chapter 835. What? Because you can't participate in the alchemy competition, you also don't need to participate in the array formation competition. Everyone had gathered in Sima Yuqi's courtyard. They were all shocked by the news that they had just heard. Sima Yue was lying on the table listlessly. She was extremely disappointed when she saw everyone's reaction. The array master competition has nothing to do with alchemy, right? Why aren't you allowed to participate? Sima Yulin said, they told me to keep a low profile. Sima Yue sighed. If I didn't fight for it, I wouldn't be allowed to join the billboard. The deeper the sect hides you, the more important it is to the pill competition this time. Sima Yuran said, I suspect that Director Mao is hiding something from me. Sima Yue said, I guess that's not the reason, or it might be more than what he told me. But you have no way of knowing. Fatty Chu said, Sai, isn't that so? Sima Yue said gloomily, do your senior brothers know? Wei Ziqi asked, I don't know. I want to look for them before I came, but they didn't know what was going on either. Sima Yue said, no matter what, I believe that the Academy will not harm you. Bei Gong Tang said, Sigh, when the time comes, I can only watch you guys compete. Stop sighing. You just can't participate in the alchemy competition. You can still participate in the billboard competition. Bei Gong Tang patted her shoulder. Sigh. Sima Yue turned her head and looked at Wei Ziqi, saying, what about the information you guys gathered on the top of the leaderboard? It's all here. Wei Ziqi handed her a stack of papers. These are all placed according to the rankings. You don't have to pay attention to the others. Just look at the top 10. Needless to say, Little Seven's combat strength couldn't be compared. The second was Wang Ximiao, 380 years old, a high-level god emperor in the last competition. It was said that he was an iceberg beauty. Very few people had seen him before. He had only appeared on the billboard earlier. The third was Hua Piao Miao, 380 years old. She was also a high-level god emperor in the last competition. Her age and rank were the same as Wang Si Miao's, but her battle strength was slightly weaker. It was said that she was the most beautiful woman in the inner yard. He cultivated in the cultivation pagoda all year round. The fourth was Pang Jianan, 390 years old. He was a mid-level god emperor in the last competition. Fifth, Mo Bin, 360 years old, mid-god emperor. The sixth was Jia Chengxian. The seventh was Yu Haoqi. The eighth was Han Kale. And the ninth was Mu Hongying. And the 10th was Tang Yin. Both of them were primary god emperors. Sima Yue looked at the information of those people and estimated the outcome of the battle. There are some changes to the competition of the three great conferences every year. This year, they have only arranged the order, but the specific content has not been announced yet. Wei Ziqi said, "The first competition is the Alchemist competition, followed by the Array Master competition, followed by the Armament Master competition, followed by the Beast Tamer Master and the Seeker Spirit Master competition. After all these competitions are over, the Billboard leaderboard will be the last." I don't think there was a Seeker Spirit Master competition in the past. I didn't expect to see one this year. There have always been fewer Seeker Spirit Masters. It's not that the Academy doesn't hold one, but it won't hold one every semester. Wei Ziqi said, "Actually, the previous competitions are the same every year, but the billboard is different. There are many variations. I wonder what the format will be this year. There are still 2 days. You guys should hurry up and practice. I'll be watching you guys." Sima Yue said, "Your senior sister and senior brother have not come out yet. Are they participating in the competition?" Bei Gongtang said, "If they participate, Ouyang Yang and I will have no chance. Master is not around, and something happened to eldest senior brother. They're both in a bad mood, so they did not plan to participate. Right now, they are still in the little realm researching the ancient pill recipes. I don't know if they will come out to watch the fun when the competition starts." Sima Yue said, "I think they are both loyal people. They never thought that they would be betrayed by their senior brother, who treated them like family. That's why the blow is too big." Sima Yuran said, "When the competition starts, you can let them out for a walk. When the time comes, the academy will be very lively. When the competition starts, I'll call them out." Sima Yue said, "All right, when you went to Instructor Mao's office, that crazy he came to find you again. I think he won't rest until he has a fight with you." Sima Yu didn't have much interest in fighting with others. When she heard Sima Yu mention Madman, she thought about the information she had just seen and said, "This madman, he probably won't come after the competition ends. When the billboard is up and he sees your strength, I'm afraid he'll want to fight with you even more." Fatty Chu said, "Then we'll just beat him up once." Sima Yue said, "Towards people like him who come looking for a fight, we can't discourage them too much." Everyone was speechless. This guy was trying to crush the other party's enthusiasm in the cradle. "Sai, I'm so sad. I have to go back and sleep to comfort my wounded soul. I'll come out when the competition starts." To comfort her wounded soul, they saw that she was just looking for an excuse to rest. "All right, let's go back and prepare for the competition." Sima Yulin said, "Everyone work hard. Work hard." After Sima Yue left, she walked around the sect. Maybe it was because of the competition, those who were in seclusion came out. The students who went out also came back. The sect was bustling like never before. The limelight of her saving someone had already passed. Everyone was not so excited when they saw her. At least, there was no crowd gathering around. "Sai, did you hear? The top 10 of the billboard are basically all out. I heard that Hua Piao Miao, who is ranked 3rd, is extremely beautiful." "What do you mean by heard?" "I saw it myself." "You saw it? Damn, when? Why haven't I seen it before?" "It was this morning. When I passed by the cultivation pagoda, I saw her come out. Everyone went to watch. The scene at that time, TSK. Sai, if I knew, I would have gone to." "What's the use of you going? I saw her come out with a handsome guy. They must be cultivating together." To be able to cultivate with her, that person's ranking must not be low. Of course not. Another person came over and said, the person who came out with Hua, Piao Miao this morning was ranked 4th, Pang Jianan. It was very lively at the cultivation pagoda yesterday. There were exclamations from time to time. The whole inner sect heard it. Yesterday? Don't you know that many people came out yesterday? Most of the top 50 people were in seclusion. Now that the competition is about to start, they all came out. Finally, the billboard is going to be updated. I'm really looking forward to it. Sima Yu listened to the discussions of those people and smiled. She was also looking forward to it. Make a literature. Chapter 836. The schedule of the assembly had already been posted, and all the students knew that today was the day of the Alchemist competition. Thus, early in the morning, the students went to the largest open-air plaza in the mountain behind the academy. In the center of the open-air plaza, a temporary platform was set up with a pill furnace on top of it. The square was surrounded by spectator stands, and there was a rostrum right in front of them. It was slightly higher than the temporary high platform. When Sima Yue pulled Han Miao Shuang and Su Xiao Xiao over, Fatty Chu and the others were already seated on the viewing platform. Seeing the three enter, Fatty waved at them. Sima Yu brought them up, and the seats were already reserved for them. You guys are too late. If no one has taken a seat, you'll have to stand downstairs. Sima Yue smiled. I knew you would leave some for us. There's nothing to do if you come early. Han Miao Shuang saw tens of thousands of people in the square. Not only were the upper seats filled, there was still half of the people standing below. So many people. This is the first time I've seen such a spectacular scene in the academy. Su Xiao Xiao sighed. Senior brother, have you never participated before? After I entered the academy, I held one of the 3 great conventions. But at that time, we didn't participate, nor were we in the academy. That's why I've never seen him before, Su Xiao said. The 3 great conventions are held once every 10 years. Xiao Xiao has only been here for 18 years, so she hasn't participated before. Han Miao Shuang said, usually everyone is in closed-door cultivation, while those outside are outside. Usually, everyone will gather together during the 3 great conventions. That's why this is a rare event for the academy. Sima Yue looked at the hundreds of pill furnaces below, which was roughly the number of alchemists in the inner courtyard. She asked, are all the alchemists competing together? Yeah. Then, the questions will be the same regardless of level. Of course it's not the same. Fatty Chu said. Yang and the others said that the first row is for free play, the next few rows are for the 7th tier alchemist competition, and the last row is for the 6th tier alchemist. What's the difference between the first row and the second row? Sima Yue was confused. It's used by those 8th and 9th grade alchemists. There are also 8th and 9th grade alchemists. Sima Yue widened her eyes. At that level, they can be teachers. That's what they say, but it's said that almost no one uses this row. Wei Ziqi said, after all, wanting to become an 8th tier alchemist while still a student is not something that is very possible. However, it is said that someone has achieved it before, so this position has always been reserved. There was a rule in the inner yard. No matter what profession or identity one had, one could only stay in the inner yard until they were 400 years old. Once they were 400 years old, they would automatically graduate. At this time, all the participating alchemists took out a piece of paper from the 2 boxes and showed it to the teachers on the side of the stage. Then, they went to the corresponding pill furnace. Can they only use the pill furnaces prepared by the academy? Fatty Chu asked when he saw that Bei Gongtang and Ouyang Fei had also drawn their numbers. No, Han Miao Shuang said, the quality of these pill furnaces isn't very good. Those students can use their own pill furnaces, or they can use those prepared by others. In fact, very few people would use the pill furnaces prepared by the academy. In a while, there will be teachers coming to take back the pill furnaces. Since that's the case, why would the academy still prepare pill furnaces for them? It's a tradition passed down from the past. After the students entered the plaza, a few teachers came up together. They walked past each student and asked them if they wanted to use their pill furnaces. If they said yes, Then they would take away the academy's pill furnaces, and the students would take out their own pill furnaces. Just as Han Miao Shuang said, most of the students chose to use their own pill furnaces. Only a few kept the academy's pill furnaces. After the first 2 rows, not a single student went up. When the preparation work was more or less done, a group of teachers led by Mao San Quan walked in from outside and sat down on rostrum. A teacher standing at the side cleared his throat and began to talk to the students about the competition's opening remarks. He first talked about the importance of the 3 great conventions in the academy, then talked about the importance of the rankings and so on. After that, he talked about the arrangements for the next few days. Finally, he talked about the rules of today's competition. This year is the same as the previous years. It's divided into 2 rounds. The first round is to refine the pill that the academy has designated. The second round is free to do as you please. The first round will be based on the grade of the pill that everyone refined and the time spent. The 6th grade will be ranked after the 7th grade. The second round is free to do as you please. Within the stipulated time, you are free to refine a type of pill. The academy's teachers will judge your results based on the grade of the pill that you refined. Your final ranking will be based on the results of the 2 rounds. Now, the competition officially begins. There's a pill formula under your table. The 6th grade is the same. The 7th grade is the same. There are 3 sets of materials on the table. You have 2 hours to learn the pill formula and 3 chances to refine. Now begin. Those Alchemist students took out the pill formula from the table drawer and started to study it. Han Miao Shuang went in front of Yu and said, I heard Jiang Junxian say that the Academy's competition and the pill competition's rules are similar. When the time comes, we will probably be similar. Eldest senior brother knows. He participated in the pill competition before. Han Miao Shuang said, at that time, he went as the young master of the Jiang family. It was also during that pill competition that he was chosen by Master and accepted as a disciple. Now that I think about it, his goal was to use this opportunity to get close to Master. When was that? Sima Yu asked. About 50 years ago. Han Miao Shuang tucked her hair behind her ear and said, that guy was the first to follow Master. He was a few years earlier than me. I didn't expect that we would still participate in the competition when Master wasn't around. Su Xiao said, speaking of which, if alchemists have a pill competition, then do armament masters have a weapon competition, array masters have an array competition, beast tamers and seeker spirit masters have a corresponding competition? Sima Yu asked. Beast tamers don't seem to have such a competition, but other professions do. Master only focuses on refining pills and doesn't pay much attention to other competitions, so he doesn't know much about it. Han Miao Shuang said, Instructor Mao should know about this. Why did you think of asking this? I just thought of it and asked casually. Sima Yu smiled. In her previous life, the Shimin family didn't have any outstanding alchemists and armament masters, so they didn't have much contact with these things. Just now, she suddenly thought of this question. There were all forces in the continent. Since there was a pill competition, there should be other competitions too. Chapter 837. If you want to participate in other events, just go back and ask Instructor Mao. Han Miao Shuang said, I'm just asking. I don't want to go. Sima Yu smiled. She still had so many things to do. How could she have the energy to participate in those things? If there's a chance, I can still give it a try. I heard that those who stand out in this kind of competition will have an easy time in the continent. Han Miao Shuang said, the people in this world are very respectful towards those high-ranking professional masters, especially someone like you who knows several kinds. If little junior brother's ability is known by everyone, he will definitely be treated very well. Su Xiao said, but looking at you, I don't think you care about other people's praise. Senior brother really knows me well. Sima Yu said, she really didn't care about the gazes of strangers. You just don't care. Han Miao Shuang said, if you tell others about your abilities, I'm afraid you'll make a group of geniuses cry. But you just don't like to show off. Now I can't even show off that I have a powerful junior brother. Ability belongs to oneself, not to others. Whether I can do it or not has nothing to do with whether others know about it or not. Sima Yue shook her head slightly. Little junior brother's mentality is better than yours and mine, Su Xiao said. Sigh, it's indeed much better, Han Miao Shuang admitted. They also saw Jiang Junxian's betrayal. Sima Yue was also very hurt, especially in the ice room. When she fell, she looked at Jiang Junxian with eyes full of pain and anger. However, she quickly figured it out and understood why Jiang Junxian was doing this. She even enlightened them. These days, he had been thinking of ways to help them recover from the blow. They had seen her thoughts and efforts. Now that they thought about it, their mentality was indeed not as good as hers. They also had to pull themselves together. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to complete the heavy responsibility of this alchemy competition. The people on the stage were talking in low voices while the alchemists on the stage were competing with the pill recipes. More than an hour later, some people started to make a move. Sima Yue couldn't participate in the competition, but she could guess the difference between level 7 and level 6 pills when she saw the herbs on the table. Since she already knew, she didn't have much interest and started chatting with Han Miao Shuang and the others. During the refining process, people kept failing, but they didn't panic. They collected the waste and continued to refine. Ziqi, when do you think Ouyang and the others will start refining pills? Fatty Chu asked. I can't guess. Wei Ziqi shook his head. He didn't have a deep understanding of alchemy. He only knew that they would definitely be able to refine it, but he couldn't guess when they would start. Ouyang is about to make a move. Sima Yue said. Just as she finished speaking, she saw Ouyang Fei put down the pill recipe, picked up the herbs, and began to refine them one by one. Yes, Yue, you're so godly. You can even guess this. Fatty Chu looked at her in admiration. I didn't guess it. I saw their expressions, Sima Yue said. All right. I thought you were aware of their strength. That's why you knew. This pill should be something that no one has refined before, so we're just learning and using it now. This kind of thing is usually not very difficult. Sima Yue said. I don't know if they can succeed on their first try. Let's wait and see. The difficulty of this round of pills was indeed not too high. However, as it was their first time refining a pill, very few people could succeed on their first try. Even Bei Gongtang and Ouyang Fei had failed once before they managed to refine the pill. 5 to 6 hours later, people started to refine their pills. They raised their hands, and the teachers watching from the side would record their results. Most of the people who started and finished were 6th-ranked alchemists. This was because 6th-rank pills took much less time to refine. There were also some people who failed at the beginning and wasted some time. That was why they took longer than some 7th-ranked alchemists. The alchemists all rested on the spot, taking pills to recover their mental strength. Bei Gongtang and Ouyang Fei's pills were specially refined by Yue. There was spirit fluid in it, so they could feel their mental strength recovering quickly after eating it. While they were resting, the results of the first round were already out. There was a ranking for the 7th-ranked alchemists and another for the 6th-ranked alchemists. They rested for 2 hours. When it was almost evening, the teachers of the academy announced the start of the second round. Sima Yue and the others waited until late at night before Bei Gongtang and Ouyang Fei finished refining their pills. At this moment, the entire plaza was lit up. Because the results of the second round would take some time to be announced, the supervising teachers announced the end of the day's competition. The final results would be announced a few days later. Sima Yue and the others went down. Bei Gongtang and Ouyang Fei were already waiting for them. Ouyang Fei, I saw that you were the first to finish among the 6th-ranked alchemists. Amazing. Fatty Chu gave Ouyang Fei a thumbs up, praising him from the bottom of his heart. Bei Gong isn't bad either. She was only 10 minutes later than Ouyang Fei. Wei Ziqi said, looking at your results, you should be first or second among the 6th-ranked alchemists. Sima Yue said with a smile. If it's first or second, you have to treat us to a feast. Fatty shouted. If it's really first, why not treat you? Ouyang Fei was in a good mood, and his voice was light. Let's go back and rest. Fatty, you still have a competition tomorrow. Fatty, If you don't get into the top 10, I'll beat you up. How about that? Little 7 said. What if I get in? Fatty Chu asked. Then I'll beat you up too. But I think it'll make you feel comfortable. What? I'll get beaten up whether I get in or not. Fatty Chu jumped up. He wouldn't take this kind of bet. If you get in, I'll beat you up and let you advance a level. How about that? I can still consider it. Fatty Chu thought about the last time Little 7 beat him up. His strength had indeed increased by quite a bit. Relying on getting beaten up to increase one's strength, no one else would do that. On the second day, Fatty Chu's weapon refining competition was watched by everyone. Sima Yue was especially serious. In the past, she didn't feel anything when she saw Fatty Chu refine weapons. Now that she wanted to learn it herself, her attitude was different and her perspective was different. The process of refining weapons was similar to refining pills. The first step was to melt all the materials, then fuse them together, and finally form them. It's just that every step was much harder than refining pills because it required physical strength. Especially the last step, it required constant hammering and repairing in order to refine a good spirit weapon. Furthermore, the time required to refine a weapon was generally longer and the amount of mental energy required was not low. Therefore, Fatty Chu and the others only asked them to refine a spirit weapon. Once the spirit weapon was refined, the teacher would register the results and they could leave. Chapter 838. Fatty Chu finished refining earlier than the others. In order to understand the results of the competition, he didn't go back immediately. Instead, he went to the audience stand to wait with everyone. Little 7 saw Fatty Chu coming over and waved her fist at him, saying, "Do you think I'll beat you up for nothing or you'll advance?" Fatty Chu looked down and saw that there were still many students refining. He said confidently, "Just prepare to advance. If you can't get into the top 10, I'll beat your ass until it blossoms. Then you won't have the chance." That's not for sure. Sima Yu saw Little 7 and Fatty Chu bickering and smiled. Little 7 just liked to tease Fatty Chu. The armament competition ended at midnight. Yu and the rest went back when it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Fatty Chu finished at 5 or 6 o'clock. The results of the people behind him shouldn't be better than him. On the third day, Sima Yulin went up for the array competition. The array competition was divided into 3 rounds. The first round was to collectively enter an array that had already been set up. The ranking was based on the time taken to decipher it. The second round was to set up an array set by the sect. The ranking was based on the time taken to set it up. The third round was to freely set up an array within a set time. The ranking was based on the grade and quality of the array. Sima Yulin's talent and attainment in arrays were not bad. In addition, Yu had taught him a lot. After entering the sect, with the help of the teachers, it was possible for him to enter the top 10. The fourth day was the Beast Tamer competition. The competition was simple. Everyone was free to choose one spirit beast to tame. The ranking was based on the rank of the spirit beast. If the rank was the same, the ranking would be based on the time taken to tame it. Wei Ziqi's mental strength had the first part of the soul refining art that Sima Yu had given them. He was much stronger than the others, so he was the first to complete it. However, his rank was 1 level lower than the 2 students. If the 2 of them had succeeded in taming it, he would have been third. The Seeker Spirit Master competition was guessing the spirit stones. The sect would number a pile of spirit stones and place them out. The students would guess the spirit stones according to the number and how much they were worth. They would then record it on paper. Sima Yu realized that there were less than 50 Seeker Spirit Masters in the entire sect. It was much less than the other professions. After the Seeker Spirit Master competition ended, the Academy announced a 2-day break. 2 days later, the Fengyan ranking would be held. During the 2 days of rest, the results of the previous categories came out one after another. Ouyang Fei and Bei Gongtang were ranked first and third respectively among the 6th-ranked alchemists. Because Bei Gongtang had lost in the second round in terms of the grade of her pills. Hearing this result, Everyone was very happy and wanted to pull them out to celebrate at noon that day. Later, when they found out that there would be a result for the refining, everyone gave up. Very quickly, the results of the armament refining competition came out. Fatty Chu brushed past the edge and happened to be in 10th place. He was so happy that he kept saying that he was going to be promoted. He was going to be promoted. Only when Lil Seven waved her fist at him did he calm down. Soon after, the results of the Array Master competition came out. Sima Yulin was in 8th place, and his results were not bad. After all, his age was only a fraction of hers. On the second day, Wei Ziqi's beast taming results came out. He had originally thought that he would only be able to get 3rd place, but who would have thought that he would end up in 2nd place? There was a person whose spirit beast was of a higher grade than him who had failed to tame it. Apart from Sima Yuyu, everyone else got good results. Mao San Quan was in the office, confirming the billboard's ranking and waiting for the teachers of each profession to bring the results over. A few teachers from other faculties came over one after another. They bumped into each other at the door and entered together. Director, the results have been tabulated. The teachers placed the results on Mao San Quan's table. Mao San Quan picked it up and looked at it. Every result had a red line drawn on a few names. What is this? He pointed at the red line and asked. Those who drew the red line are freshmen. Mine too. Mine too. Mao San Quan saw that apart from the Seeker Spirit Master's name list, every other list had 1 or 2 freshmen in the top 10. Why do these names look so familiar? Mao San Quan pondered. It's a pity that Sima Yuyu did not participate in the competition this time. If not, in my alchemy ranking, there would be 3 freshmen in the top 10. The alchemy teacher lamented. Sima Yuyu? Mao San Quan's eyes lit up. That's right. These people were the freshmen who were with Sima Yuyu. He was wondering why they looked so familiar. There's no need to use this competition to determine her strength. He put down the list. These people who entered the top 10 are all her companions. Each and every one of them has amazing strength. Isn't that so? When I saw the results, I was shocked. The alchemy teacher said excitedly, in the past, freshmen did not even enter the top 50, let alone the top 10. Last time, there was someone who entered the top 70. Everyone was quite excited. This time, it's the top 10. That's right. Everyone was so happy. The Beast Tamer teacher said, this batch of students' talent is too good. Moreover, they are all very young. They are only in their early 30s. The alchemy teacher said, 30 years old. How many students entered the school when they were 30 years old? Mao San Quan was also very happy. He said to the other teachers, this group of children not only have good talent, their background is also clean. They came from the lower continent and do not belong to any power. You can nurture them without worry. What? Did they come up from the continent below? How can the lower continent nurture such powerful students? That's right. Let's not talk about these students' occupations. Even their spirit energy is not bad. Can people from the lower continent reach the divine rank before the age of 30? This is too impossible. What's impossible? Mao San Quan said, there will be geniuses everywhere. But these students together with Sima Yue don't seem so outstanding. The alchemy teacher said that Yue is the one who really goes against the heavens. Since their background is clean, we will nurture them well. That's right. You can arrange the nurturing yourself. Mao San Quan said, all right, let them participate in the billboard's ranking. Yes. After the results of each occupation came out, the people from Cliff Mountain were the first to find out that Fatty Chu and the others were on the ranking. Then they sighed. They didn't want the news to spread. Everyone knew that the occupation masters of Thunderbolt Mountain were very powerful. They all wanted to see their glory. They almost broke Sima Yulin's courtyard. It was a good thing that the billboard's ranking was on the second day. This craze only lasted for a day. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to live well in the sect. They would probably be blocked by those students when they went out. On the second day, Yue and the others went to the square early in the morning to wait for the billboard's ranking competition. Small reminder, press the Enter key to return to the book list. Press key to return to the previous page. Press key to return to the next page. Read Crazy Wife. 5th Miss Divine Doctor, please remember our address. Download Crazy Wife. Fifth Miss Divine Doctor, please come. Chapter 839. Tens of thousands of people were waiting in the square, but when it was time for the competition, they did not see the teachers come in. What's going on? Could it be that today's billboard is not going to be held? Fatty Chu asked. I don't think so. If they wanted to cancel it, they wouldn't have let us wait here for so long. Sima Yuran said. Then why aren't the teachers here yet? Let's wait and see. Sima Yue looked around. Not only them, but the others were also anxious and confused. The entire square was filled with the sound of discussion. In this bustling square, there were a few quiet places that seemed very special. Who are those people? She looked at the group of people diagonally below her and asked. That's the top 10 on the billboard. Fatty Chu said, the man in black sitting in the middle is Wang Si Miao. The lady beside him was Hua Piao Miao. According to the latest news, the two of them seemed to be planning to become partners. You even know about this? Sima Yue looked at Fatty Chu in astonishment. I'm a little smart. There's nothing I don't know. Fatty Chu said smugly. Beside Hua Piao Miao is the fourth-ranked Pang Jianan. It said that he's also one of Hua Piao Miao's pursuers. I heard that Wang Si Miao and Hua Piao Miao are together, and he's preparing to challenge Wang Si Miao. Where did you hear all this from? Little Seven asked. Didn't I go out yesterday? I heard it. Pang Jianan said it himself. Fatty Chu said mysteriously. How did you hear that? Fatty Chu looked at the people around him and felt a little apprehensive. Sima Yue felt that something was wrong when she saw him like this. She casually set up a barrier and trapped him inside. What happened? She stared at Fatty Chu, not allowing him to lie. Actually, last night, two of my senior brothers invited me to the back of the mountain for a drink. On the way back, we passed by a mountain, and I suddenly felt like peeing, so I ran behind a big rock. In order to not let people find out that I was doing something uncivilized, I hid my aura. I didn't expect to hear Pang Jianan talking to someone about killing Wang Si Miao. Who is he talking to? Sima Yulin asked. I don't know. The other party is hidden in a cloak, and his voice is very hoarse. I can't recognize him at all. Have you been discovered? Sima Yue asked. I was too surprised at the time, so I accidentally made a sound. Fatty Chu said. After that, I quickly ran out, but I stayed there before. If there were spirit beasts, they would be able to smell me. Why didn't you say this earlier? Wei Ziqi glared at him. When I came back last night, I didn't think much of it. Anyway, they would always meet each other during the competition. Fatty Chu said, it's not like fighting over a girl is anything new. But just now, I felt that something was wrong. What's wrong? Seven asked. If he wants to kill Wang Si Miao just because of Hua Piao Miao, he doesn't need to discuss with a mysterious person. Sima Yue said. Yes, that's it. Fatty Chu said. I was wondering if he was plotting something. That's why he was so mysterious. That's most likely the case. Sima Yuran said in a low voice. If that's the case, then when they find out about you, they definitely won't let you off. Fatty Chu nodded repeatedly. That's right, that's right. I also feel that I'm in danger now. You deserve it. Who told you to go outside and pee? Little Seven didn't think that Fatty Chu was in danger. Anyway, this kind of person wasn't worthy of her attention. Seeing Fatty Chu like this, she wanted to laugh at him. People have to go to the toilet. Fatty Chu said. There's no proof now. It said that he wants to do something, and he didn't say that he wants to kill Fatty Chu to silence him. Sima Yue said, so you don't have to worry too much. Anyway, even if he really wants to do something to you, he needs to have the ability. Don't you have a lot of thunderbolt bullets? If someone comes to kill you, you could just treat them to a thunderbolt bullet. Thunderbolt bullet was the name that Fatty Chu gave to the little metal ball. It was based on their team. Thunderbolt bullets were now a rare spirit tool outside. Everyone wanted to buy some, especially a few big powers. They bought some through the sect and wanted their own armament masters to imitate it. However, they realized that they couldn't make such a good thunderbolt bullet. When Fatty Chu found out, he laughed arrogantly and boasted, if my thunderbolt bullets were so easy to imitate, would I be at ease letting you guys buy them? Don't be so cocky. It's just that their power is much weaker than yours. Wei Ziqi attacked him. That's what I want. If it weren't for thee, or that you collected for you in When High's little realm, would you be able to refine such a powerful thunderbolt bullet? That's also my secret weapon. Since it's a secret weapon, it's naturally mine. When Fatty Chu heard what Sima Yue said, he laughed. That's right. If anyone dares to kill me, I'll treat them to a thunderbolt bullet. At this moment, Pang Jia sensed something. He turned around and glanced at them. He first looked at Fatty Chu, then looked at Sima Yue. He smiled at her and turned back. What do you guys think? Wei Ziqi asked. I think he's already confirmed that it's Fatty Chu, Sima Yulin said. Although he hit it well, the way he looked at Fatty Chu was different. Sima Yue said, you should have already confirmed it. If he wants to come, then come. I'll treat him to a thunderbolt bullet. Fatty Chu said, you're stupid. What if he's plotting against you? Little Seven rolled her eyes at him. Also, he's not the main one. Sima Yue said, I'm worried about the person with him last night. That's right. Even if Pang Jianan's strength is not bad, he's still in the open. If he wants to attack you, we could be prepared. But we don't know the identity of the person in the cloak. If he wants to plot against us, we won't be prepared. We have no choice. We can only counter soldiers with arms and water with an earthweir. Fatty Chu said, why isn't the teacher here yet? Little Seven asked. If he's not here, we'll go back. He's here. When Sima Yue finished speaking, a teacher walked in from outside. At this moment, the competition was about to start. Just one teacher? Where's the judge? Someone asked. The sex leader didn't come either. Is it really going to be canceled? There's nothing going on recently. Why would it be canceled? Maybe the competition style has changed. Let's wait and see what the teacher has to say. That teacher walked up to the stage and said, silence. The teacher's voice was loud and clear. It spread throughout the square, and the tens of thousands of students quietened down. Chapter 840. This year's Billboard ranking competition will be held as scheduled. That teacher said, however, the rules have to be changed. The students below were in an uproar. It was actually different from the previous years. He wondered what it would be like this year. Quiet. Whoever makes any more noise will be disqualified from the competition, the teacher said in a low voice. These words were very effective. Everyone immediately quieted down. After everyone quieted down, the teacher continued. In this competition, we will no longer use a free-for-all to obtain the qualifications. We will use other methods to obtain the qualifications. There weren't many students in the academy, but if all of them were to participate in the competition, how long would it take? Therefore, the academy only allowed the top 1,000 students to enter the later stages of the competition. In the past, the competition was set up in the academy. This year, we will set up the competition venue outside. The teacher's words caused the students to start whispering again. Most of them were very interested in this selection competition. Everyone look at this. The teacher waved his hand, and an image appeared above the square. A golden scorpion-like spirit beast flew into an oasis and killed all the people inside. These spirit beasts not only killed the people, but also ate their corpses, leaving only a pile of bones. The scene was too bloody and cruel. Many female students couldn't bear to watch it. In the end, the image stopped at a close-up photo of a spirit beast. This kind of spirit beast is called the golden scorpion. It's a kind of spirit beast in the Karma Desert. The golden scorpion was cruel by nature and often attacked pedestrians and surrounding residents in the Karma Desert. In the past, there weren't many of them, so the balance could be maintained. However, in recent years, for some unknown reason, their numbers have skyrocketed, and it has seriously threatened the safety of the surrounding residents. The Academy has received a request for help, hoping that we can deal with these golden scorpions. Therefore, the purpose of this competition is to deal with the golden scorpions. Kill one and cut off its tail. The final ranking will be based on the number of kills. The top 1,000 will qualify for the ranking competition. Teacher, is this dangerous? No mistake, no word skipped. Someone asked. Look at their combat power just now. Do you think it's dangerous? The teacher asked. No one said anything. He continued, The qualifiers this time have a certain amount of danger, so if you don't want to participate, you can automatically withdraw. No one wanted to quit. This matter may be life-threatening, the teacher said, so you have one day to think about it. Those who are willing to go can come back here tomorrow. Also, there was no restriction on whether it was an individual or a team. In any case, it only looked at the final individual results. All right, everyone go back and think about it. Come back here tomorrow. With that, the teacher left. After waiting for an entire morning, they didn't expect to see such a result. Everyone couldn't react for a moment. Seeing that the teachers had left, they also went back in 2s and 3s. When they left, they were all discussing this competition. Sima Yue and the rest did not hesitate. This level of difficulty was not going to stop them. Sima Yue. He-Feng caught up from behind and looked at Sima Yue. Sima Yue, when are you going to compete with me? Sima Yue saw the determination in his eyes and said, "All right, if you can find me during this competition, I will compete with you. If you can't find me, then don't mention this matter again. How about it?" "All right, it's a deal then," He-Feng said happily and left with satisfaction. So easy to talk to? Fatty Chu watched He-Feng leave and was a little surprised. When we go there, everyone's location should be random. Is he so confident that he can find you? Ignore him, Sima Yue said. If he can really find me, then let's fight with him and satisfy his desire to be beaten up. PFFF. Everyone felt that it was impossible for He-Feng to find Yu, but they forgot one thing. So, on the second day, when they saw that He-Feng was dead set on following them, everyone was speechless. If he went with them, then the possibility was too high. I didn't break the promise, He-Feng said happily. Sima Yue smiled and didn't chase him away. You're not going with your friends? Fatty Chu asked. Of course, He-Feng said. So let's go together. Even if we're separated, we can still contact each other. According to what he said, there were other people going with them. After a while, Tang Yin and Mo Bin came over. These are my teammates. This is Mo Bin and this is Tang Yin. He-Feng introduced them to everyone. Mo Bin and Tang Yin greeted everyone. Seeing that they were in a daze, Tang Yin said with a smile, "Seems like we're not very welcomed." Nope. Nice to meet you. Sima Yue smiled. Even if they weren't welcomed, they couldn't say it out loud. Tang Yin turned his gaze to Sima Yue. Sima Yue, I've heard a lot about you. I'm happy to be with you this time. I heard that the teleportation array is random. It's too early to say if we'll be together when we get there. Sima Yue said. Then I hope we'll be together. Sima Yue smiled. She hoped they wouldn't be together. She wasn't used to strangers. After a while, the teacher came and asked them to stand on the teleportation array that was set up yesterday. With the teleportation array, it was so convenient to travel. You have a total of 2 months. After 2 months, you have to come back on your own. Those who miss the deadline will be eliminated, the teacher said. In addition, the golden scorpion that you obtained will be exchanged for cultivation points. So everyone work hard. Those who just wanted to participate were happy when they heard the news. Their strength was very low, so it was impossible for them to get first place in the qualifiers. They only thought that it was important to participate, so they wanted to come. Now that they knew that they could exchange it for cultivation points, they were all overjoyed and wanted to go as soon as possible. Sima Yue's team wasn't in a hurry. They waited for the others to leave before they stood up. Let's go up too. His pleasant voice almost made them go soft. Everyone looked over. The one who spoke was Hua Piao Miao. Beside her were those who were in the top 10. Why are they only here now? Fatty Chu muttered softly. Those who were in the top ranks were with them. Even if they weren't together, if they were close, they would snatch the spirit beast from them. Unhappy, they thought they were the last. In the end, these people only came now. Naturally, they would be with them. Let's go, the teacher said to Hua Piao Miao. A group of people stood on the teleportation array. When they saw Tang Yin and Mo Bin who were with Sima Yu and the others, Wang Si Miao glanced at them lightly. Hua Piao Miao said disdainfully, "Why are you two with a group of freshmen?" Chapter 841. Sima Yu's eyebrows furrowed. This arrogant disdain was really unpleasant. Bin didn't show any eagerness towards the number 3 beauty of the inner courtyard. He said indifferently, "Although you're a new student, your strength isn't any worse than the older students. Now that we know each other, we'll leave together." "Is that so? Now that you say it like that, I'm quite curious. Just how strong is this new student? I wonder if he can stand out in the qualifiers." Hua Piao Miao said with a light smile. "I have confidence in them." Bin said. "Let's wait and see." The academy's teacher didn't care about the undercurrent here, waved his hand and used spirit energy to activate the formation. "Let's go." In order to prevent themselves from being separated, Sima Yu and the others held hands. When Yifeng saw this, he grabbed Sima Yu's clothes with one hand and Bin with the other. Tang Yin reacted quickly and grabbed Bin's arm. At the same time, everyone disappeared from the array. The Kama Desert was located in the western part of the central region. It was more than 100 million kilometers away from the academy and had an area of several million square kilometers. There were many spirit beasts living in the desert, and there were hundreds of species of scorpions. Among them, the golden scorpion was the most vicious and cruel. In the past, there were not many golden scorpions, but in recent years, for some reason, the number of other scorpions had decreased sharply, but the number of golden scorpions had increased sharply, causing an imbalance in the Kama Desert. Sima Yue and the others were unlucky. Many of them had landed in the oasis, but they had landed in the desert. They had landed on quicksand and were almost swallowed by the quicksand. By the time they flew up, everyone's clothes were filled with sand, which was scalding hot. "Ah!" Sima Yulu cried out softly, his voice filled with pain. "Fourth bro, what's wrong?" Sima Yuran was right beside him and hurriedly asked when he heard his cries. "I dash." Sima Yulu spat out a single word as he fell from the sky. "Fourth brother." Sima Yu teleported and appeared below Sima Yulu, catching him firmly. "Fifth bro, what happened to fourth bro?" Sima Yuran was the first to come over. When he saw that Sima Yuli's face had turned black, he started to worry. "He looks like he has been poisoned." Sima Yue took out a pill and fed it to him. Only then did his body stop turning black. Sima Yuran pulled Sima Yuli's hand and took a look, saying, "There's an opening here." Sima Yue took a look and said, "He was stung by a scorpion. There are poisonous scorpions in the quicksand. Everyone be careful." Fourth bro should have been stung by a scorpion when he was in the quicksand. Sima Yuchi said, "The pill I gave him is a detoxification pill. It can suppress hundreds of poisons, but it can't completely remove them. Let's leave this place. I want to give him a thorough check." Sima Yue said. Buzz buzz. Suddenly, a scorpion emerged from the quicksand. It had a golden appearance and a pair of wings on its back that allowed it to fly. Golden scorpion. Everyone be careful. F***CK. A golden scorpion with wings. That's too rare. Buzz 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 buzz. Golden scorpions flew out from the yellow sand one by one. There were tens of them, and they surrounded Yu and the others. "Fifth bro, take fourth bro away first. Leave this to us." Sima Yuming said. "Okay." Sima Yuli's condition could not be delayed. With a thought, she disappeared from where she was and appeared 100 meters away. She carried Sima Yulu and flew forward. After leaving the quicksand, she placed him on the ground and began to take his pulse and detoxify his poison. The golden scorpion saw that Sima Yue had left and was immediately irritated. It attacked the remaining people. "You dare to sting our little friend. You're in big trouble this time," Fatty Chu said, as he and Little Seven clenched their fists. These two people liked to talk with their fists. They were barbarians. I didn't think that we would gain something the moment we came. Yifeng saw those golden scorpions and took out his sword and waved it. Bin and Tang Yin also attacked together. When Sima Yue had detoxified Sima Yuli's poison, Sima Yuming and the others had dealt with the golden scorpions and flew over. "Fifth bro, how is fourth bro?" "The poison has been detoxified, but because it was not immediately detoxified, it has invaded his nerves. He needs to rest for 2 days." Sima Yue said. "That golden scorpion's poison is so strong." Fatty Chu cried out. That's why you have to be careful in the future. Don't get stung. Sima Yue said. We will. Let's see if there's an oasis nearby. Sima Yue called out 10 scarlet bees and got them to fly in all directions. These are the legendary scarlet bees. Tang, Yin said with surprise when he saw the scarlet bees. Sima Yue nodded in agreement. Then, she set up a tent for Sima Yue and waited. After 2 hours, the scarlet bees returned with news that they had found an oasis. Sima Yue called out Chongming and brought everyone up. They quickly flew towards the oasis. Chongming's speed was much faster than the scarlet bees. After an hour, they saw an oasis that was not too big. There was a small pool. There were a few trees beside the pool, and the oasis was less than a kilometer wide. Put fourth bro under the tree, Sima Yue said. Sima Yue took out a bed and put it under the tree. Then, he put Sima Yue on it. Let's set up a tent for him first, Wei Ziqi said. They took out a tent, and a few of them set it up in a few minutes. Then, everyone began to set up their own tents. Although Hifeng really wanted to challenge Sima Yue, seeing how busy she was, he decided to do it later. The three of them set up their own tents at the side. It seemed like they had made up their minds to stay with them. I'm going to research the golden scorpion's poison and see if I can refine an antidote for it. Sima Yue said, Third bro, give me a tail. Sima Yue gave her one of the tails and warned, Be careful. Sima Yue nodded and took the tail back to her own tent. These 2 days, we will definitely wait here for third bro to wake up. Do you want to leave first? Otherwise, it will delay your journey and plan. Sima Yue said to Hifeng, No need, we'll stay with you. Tang Yin rejected. Crazy, you haven't competed with Yue yet. Do you want to leave? Of course not. Hifeng said, Before I compete with her, I won't leave. We're together. If Crazy doesn't leave, we can't leave either. Tang Yin said with a smile. With their intelligence, how could they not see that Sima Yue and the others did not want to stay with them? However, the more unwilling they were, the more they refused to leave. He loved to see people who didn't want to see him but couldn't chase him away. Chapter 842. Are you worried that we will steal your golden scorpion? Tang Yin did not wait for them to speak and continued. Don't worry, we won't fight with you. Didn't we not fight with you just now? That's not what we meant. We just didn't want to delay your journey and delay your killing of the golden scorpion. Wei Ziqi said, Don't worry, there won't be any delays. Hifeng said, We don't need any golden scorpions, so it doesn't matter even if we don't have any. No need for the golden scorpion? That's right, didn't you guys know? Hifeng was surprised to see Fatty Chu and the rest so surprised. Know what? Every year, the top 50 do not need to participate in the next qualifying round. They can directly obtain the qualifications. Tang Yin said, Didn't you say to line up 1,000 people? That's right. There are 1,000 people, but the top 50 don't count. Tang Yin said, So the final number of people in the competition will be 1,050. Everyone was speechless. There was actually such a rule? Then what are you guys doing here? Fatty Chu asked. Although we don't have to come, in order to show fairness, we will still participate in the competition with everyone. Tang Yin said, So you don't have to worry about us stealing your loot. It seemed that they were determined to follow them. Sima Yue was in her tent. She did not say anything when she heard the commotion outside. She put on a pair of custom-made gloves, picked up a pair of scissors, and cut open the golden scorpion's tail. She found its poison sac and cut off the surrounding flesh and shell. Then, she placed the poison sac on a jade bowl and used the scissors to cut open the poison sac. The golden venom dripped into the jade bowl. A golden scorpion was about 20 to 30 centimeters long, and its tail was nearly 20 centimeters long. However, they only had a few drops of venom. Just these few drops of venom were enough to kill over 100 god kings. She took out a basin of water and put in some medicinal powder. Then, she took out a jade stick and dipped it in the golden scorpion's venom. She stirred in the water, and the water immediately boiled. What a strong poison! She exclaimed in a low voice, her heart filled with doubt. With such a strong poison, if the students were to be stung, the odds would be against them. How could the academy let the students carry out such a dangerous mission? Don't tell me that Director Mao and the rest don't know about it." She frowned. Thinking of the seriousness of the matter, she put down Venom and went outside. "Done?" Sima Yulin asked when he saw her come out. Sima Yue shook her head and said, "I discovered something and wanted to discuss it with you." "What?" Sima Yuming asked. Sima Yue looked at Mo Bin and the others and said, "Do you know anything about the Golden Scorpion? I've interacted with him before, but I don't really know him well. What's wrong?" Mo Bin looked at her serious expression and asked, "You come into contact with him? Have you ever seen his venom?" Sima Yue asked, "Of course I have. We once came here to carry out the Academy's mission, which was to collect golden scorpions, but that was already 100 years ago." Mo Bin said, "Then come in with me." Sima Yue turned around and went in. Mo Bin and the others looked at each other and followed him in. Fortunately, her tent had always been big, so it didn't feel crowded even when more than 10 people went in. "Let me show you one time," Sima Yue said as she poured away the water in the basin, then put in fresh water and medicinal powder, then dipped it in a little golden scorpion venom. The water boiled again. Such a strong poison. Bei Gong Tang and the others were very familiar with medicine and cried out when they saw the reaction. "Is the poison very strong?" Fatty Chu didn't understand and asked. "Such a strong reaction means that this venom can kill a monarch-ranked expert in a few minutes." Bei Gong Tang said, "SS so strong." Fatty Chu cried out and retreated, looking at the basin of water and the small jade bowl beside it in shock. Sima Yue looked at Mo Bin and said, "Was the venom of the golden scorpion that you came in contact with before so strong?" "No," Mo Bin said confidently. "At that time, we weren't very strong, and some of us were stung by the golden scorpion, but it wasn't so strong." "So you're saying that the venom of the golden scorpion has become stronger?" Sima Yulin said. "After 4th bro was stung, 5th bro's pill temporarily suppressed the poison, so you had time to detoxify him. If it was anyone else, I'm afraid they would have already died." Sima Yuran said, "Why would the sect use such a difficult mission as the content of the qualification round?" He Feng didn't understand. It's not that the sect chose a difficult mission, but that the venom of the golden scorpion has become stronger, and the sect hasn't received any news. Mo Bin's expression was solemn. "If other students were stung by the golden scorpion, I'm afraid, then we have to quickly contact the sect and tell them about the situation here." Tang Yin said. Mo Bin nodded, and Tang Yin turned to leave. He came back quickly and said, "There's a problem with the magnetic field here, so we can't send out the news." "Then we can't contact the sect?" "In theory, yes," Tang Yin said. "In theory? What do you mean?" "In other words, there are other ways, but they might not work." Tang Yin explained. "If it doesn't work, then we can't contact the sect. Then we can go back now and tell the sect." Fatty Chu said, "Without the sect's permission, leaving the Kama Desert will automatically be considered as giving up." He Feng said, "You don't have to participate, right? Then you can go back. Once we enter, we can't go back as we wish." And Mo Bin said, "If we don't leave with you, it'll be considered as giving up. What kind of stupid rule is this?" Fatty Chu cried out, "Then what we do now? No matter what, you guys go outside and think of a way." Sima Yue said, "You guys think of a way. Ouyang and Bei Gong stay behind. We'll research the antidote." "I'm not going out either," Little Seven said. In the end, everyone went out, leaving the 4 of them in the tent to research the antidote. Sima Yuran and the others came outside, thinking about how their younger brother had just walked through the gates of hell and felt a wave of fear. Luckily, they had Yu, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. Mo Bin, have you ever thought about why the number of golden scorpions suddenly increased these years? Tang Yin walked beside Mo Bin and said, "Not only did the number increase, even the venom increased. This is too abnormal." "It really is abnormal," Mo Bin said. "Also, the news here can't be sent out, which is really puzzling. Maybe this is one of the reasons." Fatty Chu said casually. "One of the reasons?" "That's right. Maybe it's because of that reason that the magnetic field and space here changed, and the news can't be sent out. It's also because of this reason that the golden scorpions became like this. Yulin, tell me, am I right? Chapter 843. Reading on mobile. It's not impossible. Please search product percent book yin yin net to see the most complete. Sima Yulin said, but we can't do anything about it. The desert is so big. It's too difficult for us to find the cause. Unless our luck explodes, we won't encounter it with such a small probability. Fatty Chu said, I think it's unlikely too. Mo Bin said, when we return to the sect, we'll report the news and let the sect send people to deal with it. What about the students? They'll have to rely on their own abilities. Although the golden scorpion's toxicity has increased a lot, their battle strength hasn't. When they were fighting just now, they didn't notice anything unusual. As long as the sect's students don't get stung, they shouldn't be in too much danger. Mo Bin said, when we meet others later on, we'll just remind them. We can only do this. I wonder if you and the others can develop an antidote. Hifeng looked back at the tent and said, it's no problem. You can cure Yu Li's poison. The antidote is just a matter of time. Fatty Chu said confidently. I've long heard that his medical skills are amazing. Looks like it's true. Tang Yin said with a smile. Yu Yu's abilities are not limited to what you've heard. Fatty Chu saw the three of them looking at him and smiled, saying, but I won't tell you. Is it good for you to keep us in suspense? All right, I think it's pretty good. Fatty Chu nodded seriously after he finished speaking, emphasizing that this was exactly what he thought. Let's go nearby and take a look. Sima Yulin said to Fatty Chu. Okay. Fatty Chu replied and followed him and Sima Yuming out of the oasis. Sigh, this guy, he's keeping us in suspense and not continuing. Hifeng spat at Fatty Chu's back. This guy's doing it on purpose. Tang Yin said, but if he doesn't say, we'll have time to find out. That's right. Mo Bin agreed. Fatty Chu and the others walked around and came back. There was nothing except for the vast desert. At night, Wei Ziqi took out some medicinal powder and scattered it around them. If we sprinkle the powder around, the normal bugs won't dare to come close. Fatty Chu said, but we don't know if this powder will have any effect on the golden scorpion. If it doesn't work, wouldn't it be troublesome if the golden scorpions come at night? Don't jinx it. Wei Ziqi glared at him. This rascal always said that the good things did not come true, but the bad things did. Now that he had said this, his intuition told him that this crow's beak would come true this time. Late at night, Sima Yue and Beigong finally developed the antidote. Sima Yuli's antidote relied on the silver needle technique. This antidote could not be relied on, so it was much more difficult. Fatty Chu and the others were chatting around the bonfire outside. Seeing them come out, he called out, you guys are done? Sima Yue and the others walked over and sat down. Say, it's done. We just need to refine some more tomorrow. Is your antidote really effective? Hifeng asked. Of course. Sima Yue said, not only that, we've also developed two types of antidotes. One is for prevention. The other is for detoxification after being stung. How is it? Do you want to try it? It can be prevented? Of course it can. Sima Yue said. This was developed based on the concept of prevention back on Earth. She didn't think that it would really work. You guys only had a day's time. Not only did you develop the antidote, you even developed a prevention antidote? Hifeng said in surprise. That's right. Do you guys want one? My pill is very useful. As long as you eat it, you won't have to be afraid of being stung by the golden scorpions. You can even eat the antidote within 3 hours. Sima Yue beamed at the three of them. What's the use of 3 hours? Of course it's useful. Sima Yue said seriously. These 3 hours are useless to those who have the antidote. But for those who don't have the antidote and can't bear to buy the antidote, it's very useful. At least they have 3 more hours to think about it. Everyone was speechless. How could she say that? Don't think that it's strange. There are many people like that. Sima Yue said. At first, they don't think it's a big deal. But when death really comes, they will regret not making the right choice. I'm giving them a chance to regret. This has the effect of a regret medicine. What you said does sound reasonable. Tang Yin said. What do you mean it sounds reasonable? This is the truth. Sima Yue said, after saying so much, are you guys going to buy this pill or not? Buy? Of course we're going to buy it. Do you think we're going to give it to you for free? Sima Yue rolled her eyes at Yifeng. My pill didn't pop out from the cracks of a rock. It didn't fall from the sky like rain. Of course it costs money. That's right. We're not running a charity. Little Seven added, since we know each other, I'll give you guys a discount. The prevention pill is 100 middle-grade crystals. The antidote pill is 1,000 middle-grade crystals. 1,000 middle-grade crystals? That's so expensive. Why don't you go rob a bank? Tang Yin exclaimed. How is it expensive? Sima Yue said, let's not talk about how rare and precious this antidote pill is. It's definitely worth the price. Let's talk about its hidden value. This is a life-saving pill. Do you think that 1,000 middle-grade crystals can buy a second life? Isn't that worth it? Or do you think that your life isn't worth this little bit of crystals? That seemed to make a bit of sense. Sima Yue saw the hesitation on their faces and continued. So to you guys, my price is really not high. How about it? Do you want to buy it? Her eagerness really made it seem like she had money in her eyes. Then if I only buy the prevention pill, it's only 100 middle-grade crystals? Yifeng asked. Yes, it's only 100. But if you want to buy it after being stung by the golden scorpion, the price will double. One pill is 2,000. Pooh! Yifeng and Tang Yin spat out the tea in their mouths into the fire, making it sizzle. You're taking advantage of the situation to extort us. No, you're wrong. Sima Yue said, this is called the market demand determines the value of an item. Previously, I advised you guys to buy this. At that time, you guys didn't buy it. That's because the market demand wasn't there. But once you're stung, the demand for this pill will increase. So the value of this pill will naturally be different. Nonsense. Tang Yin felt that he was quite good at talking, but he couldn't compare to her. Chapter 844. She read on her phone. Although it was preposterous, they still spent crystal stones to buy a few antidotes from her. Seeing a few thousand crystal stones disappear just like that, Mo Bin and Yifeng didn't think much of it. One was rich, the other didn't care about money. Only Tang Yan's heart ached. Seeing Sima Yue give the antidotes to the others, he asked, why don't they give you spirit stones? We're together. Of course they don't. We're together with you too. Tang Yin protested. We're not close to you. Sima Yue replied without thinking. We've seen it so many times, we're already close. Tang Yin retorted. They're my brothers. Fatty Chu and the others are my companions who grew up with me. We've been living together for 10 to 20 years. Sima Yue said, if we were like that, I wouldn't take your money. Tang Yin wanted to say that 10 years wasn't a long time, but thinking about their age, 10 years was a long time for them. Sima Yue didn't wait for him to speak. She stood up and patted the sand off her body. All right, I'm going to continue refining pills. I'm tired. Bei Gong. Ouyang, you guys rest a bit more before you go. All right, you go first. Bei Gong Tang nodded. Because there were outsiders, they didn't go into the spirit pagoda to refine pills. Instead, they refined a few batches. Each batch produced 10 pills. The three of them refined over 100 pills in one night. While they were refining, 2 batches of golden scorpions came to the oasis. They were dealt with by them and didn't disturb the 3 of them. Over 100 golden scorpions came in one night. The frequency is a bit high, Mo Bin said. At that time, we might not even meet them once a day. Every time, there would be no more than 20 to 30. Otherwise, why would the number of golden scorpions increase? Tang Yin said, although they're not that strong, they have a lot of numbers. If more come, it'll be a tough battle. I don't know what caused it. Sima Yulin said, we met so many in one night. The other students won't be few. I wonder how they're doing? Mo Bin was worried. If you're worried about them, you can go look for them. Fatty Chu said, let's go. If we leave, we won't be with them. We'll go with you. Yifeng insisted on his opinion. He could not care less about the others. Even if he wanted to do something, he would do it after the competition with Sima Yue. When fourth brother wakes up, let's look for the others. Sima Yue opened the tent and came out. Yu, are we really going? Little Seven said. Go ahead. Principal Yuan and Teacher Gu are people who love their students. If they know that something happened to their students, they will be very worried. Sima Yue said. Teacher Gu and the rest went to a dangerous place to find a solution to her body's problem. Little Seven was also very familiar with the teachers in the academy. They treated her very well. Knowing this, she couldn't just stand by and watch. It would have been fine if they hadn't discovered it, but since they had already discovered it, they must have a way to deal with it. If they didn't do it, they would be letting down the academy's nurturing of them. That's true, Little Seven said. Then we'll go when fourth brother wakes up. Sima Yue called out a few thousand scarlet bees and got them to fly in all directions to scout for news. After so many years of reproduction, the scarlet bees had already divided into a few ordinary queen bees in the spirit pagoda. The number of scarlet bees was increasing rapidly. Mo Bin and the rest saw the scarlet bees fly away and were so shocked that they couldn't close their mouth for a long time. In the evening, Sima Yue woke up. When he heard about the dangerous situation he was in, he felt a wave of lingering fear. It's too late today. Let's set off tomorrow morning. Sima Yue said. The scarlet bees that they sent out didn't report anything too dangerous. They didn't have to rush out so quickly. They could even refine more pills. On the morning of the second day, they packed up their tents. Sima Yue called out Chongming and got him to bring everyone to fly in a random direction. On the way, they stopped when they met golden scorpions. They killed a few hundred in a day. There's an oasis in front. Let's set up camp there tonight. Sima Yue said. Chongming brought them to the oasis. For convenience, everyone didn't even bother to set up a tent. They made a fire, and everyone sat around the fire to regulate their breathing. Someone's coming. Sima Yue opened her eyes and said, Should be the students of the sect. Fatty Chu asked, There are quite a few of them. Sima Yue said. Very quickly, a group of people on flying beasts arrived. There were more than 10 of them. The leader was Wang Si Miao and the rest. When they saw Sima Yue and the rest, the students recognized Mo Bin and Tang Yin at a glance. It's Mo Bin and Tang Yin. That's great. The top 10 of the billboard are all gathered. We're even stronger now. There's also Madman He. That's right. They're all gathered. Hua Piao Miao didn't think that the people in the oasis would be Sima Yue and the rest. When she saw Mo Bin and Sima Yue talking and laughing, her face fell. Mo Bin, are you guys okay? Pang Jia then looked like she was concerned, but her gaze was fake. We're fine, Mo Bin said lightly. This Karma Desert is a little strange. Those golden scorpions are much stronger than the ones we met before. You guys didn't get dragged down by the new students, right? Hua Piao Miao walked over and asked. That's right. We asked you guys to team up with us before, but you guys wanted to team up with the new students. The golden scorpion's venom can instantly take a few people's lives. You guys brought the new students. Pang Jianan agreed, but she was interrupted before she could finish. Pang Jianan, what you're saying isn't right. We're doing fine. Why do you keep saying that you and the others are dragging us down? Tang Yin didn't have a good impression of this guy and retorted with his poisonous tongue. Sima Yue and the rest were angry because Hua Piao Miao and Pang Jia then kept saying that the new students were dragging them down. Tang Yan's words made them feel much better. That's right. Pang Jianan, you guys can't casually talk about the new students. They're very powerful. Yifeng said. How was that possible? A girl shouted. Even if there are a few alchemists and blacksmiths among them, they're only dragging us down in this kind of practical battle. Isn't that right, Senior Wang? Wang Si Miao didn't nod, but he didn't deny it either. From their point of view, the new students were dragging them down. For such a dangerous qualifier, they should obediently stay in the school and not come here to cause trouble for everyone. That's right. Previously, there were 2 new students who were surrounded by the golden scorpions. Obviously, the others could have escaped, but because of them, a few new students died. Someone agreed. Their words were filled with disdain and dissatisfaction towards the new students. The new students in the team lowered their heads in guilt. Chapter 845. But even if you're not new students, aren't you relying on others? Sima Yue glanced at the girl who spoke and said sarcastically, You. The woman did not expect Sima Yue to retaliate and pointed at her angrily. We are all together so that we can better deal with those golden scorpions. How can we be a burden? We are not like you who can only rely on Senior MO and the rest. If you guys are together, you will be supporting each other and we will be dragging you guys down. But even if you're not new students, aren't you relying on others? Sima Yue glanced at the girl who spoke and said sarcastically, You. The woman did not expect Sima Yue to retaliate and pointed at her angrily. We are all together so that we can better deal with those golden scorpions. How can we be a burden? We are not like you who can only rely on Senior MO and the rest. If you're together, you'll be supporting each other, but we'll be dragging you down. Sima Yue sneered. Could it be that you only allow the officials to set fires, but not the common people? What's with the fire prevention and lighting? If you don't understand, then there is a problem with your intelligence. Little Seven said seriously. Who are you? You dare to curse me? Do you know who I am? Shouted the woman. I don't care who you are. Little Seven rolled her eyes. She obviously didn't put her in her eyes. The academy has a little kid. If he comes here, I'm afraid he'll be even more of a burden than the new students, another girl said. You're always dragging us down. We dare to leave others and live in the desert for 2 months. Can you do it? Seven stood up with her hands on her hips and looked at the two of them. Yenner, don't talk so much. Hua Piao Miao recognized Little Seven and shouted. Others might not be able to recognize Little Seven, but they did. Although she looked a few years older than before, her appearance hadn't changed completely, and he could still recognize her. Back then, their teacher had told them that Little Seven wasn't human. Everyone had guessed that she was a spirit beast. It wasn't strange for her to look like this. That Yenner saw Hua Piao Miao yelling at her and felt wronged, but she didn't dare to disobey her. She stomped her feet unwillingly. Since we've all met, let's go together. Pang Jianin said, The situation in the desert has changed. It'll be better for you to come with us. There's no need for that. Sima Yue rejected directly. In order not to drag you down, it's better that you don't join us. Being directly rejected by a freshman, Pang Jianin felt like he had lost face. His expression sank, and he coldly shouted, Don't regret this. What's there to regret? Little Seven looked at them with disdain. If we're with you guys, we're afraid that you'll drag us down. When Little Seven said this, everyone was unhappy. How could a little girl like her boast so shamelessly? Only Wang Si Miao and the others knew that Little Seven had the qualifications to say this. Senior Wang, since these freshmen are so powerful, let's not force them. Maybe they can really survive in the desert for 2 days, someone said cynically. That's right, Senior Wang. Since these people don't know what's good for them, why don't we stick our warm faces to their cold butts? Wang Si Miao frowned. Seeing the disdain in Little Seven's eyes, he thought for a while and said, Little Seven, the situation here is a little complicated. You guys should come with us. No, I'm afraid that these people will drag me down. Little Seven pouted and said coquettishly. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows slightly. It seemed like Little Seven had some relationship with him. They're all students of the school. You don't want Principal Yuan to see anything happen to them. Wang Si Miao said, That's right, Little Seven. We're all students of the school. Even if you don't want to, you have to do it for the sake of the Buddha. Peacock Hua, don't talk to me. Little Seven didn't like Hua Piao Miao. Her tone was very harsh. I don't need you to teach me if I want to do it for the sake of the Buddha. Hua Piao Miao didn't expect Little Seven to scold her in front of everyone. She felt wronged and tears welled up in her eyes. She said sadly, I'm just thinking for everyone. Little Seven, why do you have to be so fierce to me? That pitiful look melted the hearts of the guys present. Their hearts ached. Little Seven, don't go overboard. Pang Jianin shouted at Little Seven. How am I going overboard? Little Seven glared back. She's a peacock. Did I spout nonsense? Since I didn't spout nonsense, why are you shouting at me? Moreover, since when did a woman like her have the right to meddle in my affairs? Piao Miao is just being nice. How can you shout at her like that? I'm already shouting when I don't need you to meddle in my affairs. Bite me. Little Seven played around. PFFF, Sima Yue, and the rest laughed. With her current appearance, who would dare to bite her? Tang Yin saw how domineering Little Seven was and laughed till his stomach hurt. This Pang Jianan thought that he was strong and looked down on him. He was always arrogant. Now, he was being controlled by someone. Although Mo Bin's reaction wasn't as exaggerated as Tang Yan's, the corners of his mouth were raised. He was in a good mood. Pang Jia then was choked by her words. Could he have her? The answer was obviously no. If she really bit him, he might be beaten up by her before he could even get close to her. In the past, when she was young, she could send Wang Si Miao flying with one punch. Now that she had evolved, he was even less of a match for her. Jianan, don't say anymore. I'm fine. Little Seven has always been like this. She doesn't mean any harm. Hua Piao Miao gave Pang Jia and then a way out so that he wouldn't have to go against Little Seven. However, she was just saying that she was in trouble and had been wronged. The students seemed to understand. The second, third, and fourth on the billboard were all familiar with this little girl called Little Seven. They were even helpless against her. Little Seven. Yaner felt that this name was familiar. After thinking for a while, she called out in surprise, Little Seven. Isn't the first on the billboard called Little Seven? In the previous billboard ranking competition, Wang Si Miao was the first. However, after they went to Principal Yuan's office, he announced that he was only second and that there was someone better than him. However, not many people knew who that person was. In addition to the school's instructions, not many people knew about Little Seven's name. However, there were always some who knew about her. For example, this Li Yaner. After she called out, the crowd who were angry at Little Seven's attitude just now were scared. She was the top player on the billboard, the one who sent Wang Si Miao flying with one punch. Who would dare to offend her? Tang Yin looked at their expressions and threw out a bomb. He smiled and said, Yue, didn't you say that you have the antidote for the golden scorpion poison? Chapter 846. How is the antidote for the golden scorpion possible? The golden scorpion is incomparably venomous. Once stung, one would die in a few minutes. How could there be an antidote? No one believed him. This is a newly born golden scorpion. The antidote is for the previous golden scorpion, right? You guys might not know, but the golden scorpion now is different from before. Hua Piao Miao reminded kindly. I'm Sima Yue, not a freshman, Sima Yue said calmly. This White Lotus was so fake. Even now, she was still talking about freshmen. Wasn't she just looking down on them? Hua Piao Miao, this is where you were wrong. You don't even know the situation. How would you know what Yue is talking about? Tang Yin said. The first day we arrived here, Yue discovered that the golden scorpion was different. Then, she developed a new antidote with Bei Gong and the others. This antidote is used against the current golden scorpion. How is that possible? Our alchemist just said that there is no way to develop an antidote for this kind of poison. He is a 7th grade alchemist. If he can't, how can you 6th grade alchemists refine an antidote? When Bei Gong Tang and Ouyang Fei competed, they stood in the 6th rank alchemy area. Now they have been recognized. If you guys can't do it, that means others can't either. Are you stupid? Little Seven rolled her eyes at that person. You guys have really refined the antidote. Can you show it to us? A woman wearing a long blue dress walked out from behind. Sima Yue recognized her. She was in the Tier 7 alchemy area during the alchemy competition. Her name seemed to be Shui Ro. He was humble and polite, and his gaze was gentle. He did not show any disdain or arrogance, just because Sima Yue and the rest were freshmen. If you want to look at the pills, that's fine. Once you see them, you'll have to buy them. Tang Yin said. How much? I'll buy it. Shui Ro said gently. Preventive pills, 200 mid-grade crystals each. Antidote pills, 2,000 mid-grade crystals each. If you were stung, you can buy an antidote later. 4,000 middle-grade crystal stones. Tang Yin said. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows and remained silent. This guy doubled the price. So expensive. Someone exclaimed from behind. How is this expensive? Tang Yin retorted. Why don't you think about it? How much money would be spent on the ingredients for this pill? How much effort would the alchemist have to expend? How many brain cells would Yue and the others have died during their research? How much would a 6th-grade pill cost? Besides, the desert is filled with golden scorpions. How dangerous are the golden scorpions now? This is an exclusive antidote. If I were to sell it to the people outside, it would cost 10,000 mid-grade crystal stones. That's right. Do you want it or not? 7 agreed. Shui Rou smiled and said, Senior Tang isn't wrong. Compared to the price, it's really worth it. Give me one of each. She took out her crystal card and handed it to Tang Yin. After receiving it, Tang Yin handed it to Sima Yue and even winked at her. It was as if he was saying, I helped you raise the price, so you have to split the profits with me. Sima Yue took out her own crystal card and transferred 2,200 crystal stones over. Then, she took out 2 jade bottles and poured out a pill each. The red one is a preventive pill. The gold one is an antidote for the golden scorpions. Shui Rou took the pills and sniffed each one. She asked, What does this preventive pill do? Normal people can only live for a few minutes after being stung. If they eat the preventive pill, they can live for 3 hours. Sima Yue explained. Shui Rou looked at the 2 pills carefully and said, There shouldn't be any problems with this antidote. However, I have never seen this kind of preventive pill. Thank you. After thanking Yue, she returned to the back of the group. Did you see that? You alchemists all said that it's effective. Whoever still dares to say that it's a useless pill, I'll slap him. 7 snorted. However, even though Shui Rou said that the pill was effective, everyone still didn't believe her. If you guys don't grab hold of this opportunity, after tonight, the price of these pills will become 303,000 middle-grade crystal stones. Tang Yin said, Why did you raise the price again? It's the integrity of a merchant. I gave you guys one night to consider. Tang Yin said, As for integrity, business is business. We aren't merchants, and we don't sell pills for a living. Why do we need to care about that? If you guys aren't convinced, you have 2 choices. 1, buy it now. It's still 2,000 for 1. 2, if you don't buy it now, don't buy it later. Even if I raise the price, I won't cheat you guys. That's right. Wang Ximiao, do you want to buy it? If you want to buy it, hurry up. My family's you-use pills are in high demand. 7 said to Wang Ximiao. Wang Ximiao didn't plan to buy it. However, seeing that 7 had singled him out, he nodded and said, Then give me 1 antidote. How can 1 be enough? Although you're strong, who doesn't have a what-if? Since it's 2,000 now, if you don't buy a few more, it won't be worth it if the price increases later. 7 looked at him and said seriously. Wang Ximiao's mouth twitched. Was this guy forcing him to buy? Then give me 2. Since Wang Ximiao bought it, his followers also bought it. However, everyone could see that Wang Ximiao bought it because of little 7. He didn't buy it for the pill. Thus, they didn't believe that the pills had any use and didn't want to waste their money. All right, since you guys aren't willing, we won't force you. Remember that after 6 in the morning tomorrow, the price will increase. Tang Yin said regretfully. When he said that, some of the people who were hesitating began to hesitate. However, they weren't very rich. Spending 2,000 spirit stones to buy a 6th-level pill wasn't worth it. In the end, a few people spent 200 crystal stones to buy a prevention pill. After selling the pills, it was almost 6 in the morning. Everyone was tired from the day and didn't bother about the new and old students. They all found a place to sit and rest. On the morning of the 2nd day, Sima Yue woke up early. Her eyes flashed, and her expression was serious. What's wrong? Beigong Tang asked. 7 also opened her eyes and said, There's a large group of golden scorpions approaching. Golden scorpions are coming. Fatty Chu and the others heard the commotion and opened their eyes. There's quite a few of them. 7 said, Everyone, eat the prevention pill. Sima Yue took out the pills and gave everyone a few. The prevention pill was easier to refine. If they weren't stung, eating it would be more worth it. Seeing Yue and 7's expressions, they ate the prevention pill. Mo Bin, Tang Yin, and the others also ate a precaution pill. They were fully alert as they waited for the upcoming battle. Chapter 847. The following is He Can't Be Together with Her for you. Please enjoy. Everyone pay attention. The golden scorpions are here. Pang Jia then stood up and told everyone. Once they heard that the golden scorpions were here, the students immediately stood up. Some of their faces were filled with fear. Thinking about what happened just now, their faces turned pale. You new students, come and join us. Hua Piao Miao was still calling them new students. No need. Sima Yue rejected coldly. People who don't know how to respect others aren't worthy of respect. Piao Miao, since they don't know what's good for them, I don't need to care about them. Pang Jianin said. Hua Piao Miao nodded. She didn't really want to invite them over. She was just pretending. They're here. They're here. Wang Si Miao and Sima Yue spoke at the same time. After he finished speaking, he looked at her strangely. One by one, the golden scorpions flew out from the yellow sand and quickly flew towards everyone in the oasis. Attack! Someone shouted. Everyone scattered in all directions and started attacking the golden scorpions that were flying towards them. In these 2 days, the students had already gone through a few battles and had a certain level of understanding. Those who were weaker formed a group and fought against the golden scorpions together. Hua Piao Miao killed all the golden scorpions in front of her. With a wave of spiritual energy, those golden scorpions were only left with their tails. She kept the tails and took the opportunity to look at Mo Bin. After confirming that he could handle it, she turned her attention to the side. How'd they do it? She thought that new students like Bei Gong Tang and the rest should be very weak in battle. But they were actually fighting the golden scorpions alone and were doing it with ease. How'd they have such strong battle power? Not only her, the others also realized that these new students' battle power was shocking. The other new students needed at least 2 people to barely avoid being killed by the golden scorpions. Not only were they fighting alone, they even had time to harvest the tails. Their movements were even more skillful than some of the older students. These new students were simply too heaven-defying. No wonder they refuted when they said they were dragging them down. A student wasn't paying attention and was stung by the golden scorpions. He immediately fell to the ground. The other person in his group was also stung by the golden scorpions and fell to the ground with him. The others realized that they were stung and wanted to help, but were entangled by the golden scorpions. Damn it, they tried their best to kill the ones in front of them, but there were more coming from behind. Wave after wave, they didn't even have a chance to rest, let alone save people. After Wang Si Miao killed the golden scorpion in front of him, he leaped over to the 2 of them. He wanted to give them the antidote, but he was entangled by even more golden scorpions, forcing him to have no energy to do anything else. An hour later, everyone finally killed all the golden scorpions. Other than those 2, no one else was stung. What a pity for those 2 students. Hua Piao Miao looked at the 2 corpses and sighed. If we were faster, they wouldn't have been. No, there's still one alive. Wang Si Miao squatted down and turned the 2 people over. One of them had a dark complexion and had died from the poison. The other person's skin had also turned black, but he was still breathing weakly. How could he still be alive? Pang Jia, Nin said in shock. Tang, Yin walked over and said, Why can't he be alive? He just ate our precautionary pill. Anyone who takes the precautionary pill can last for 3 hours after being stung. It's only been an hour. Of course he's still alive. Yeah, he did eat the precautionary pill just now. This precautionary pill is really effective. If I knew, I would have bought one too. It's not too late to buy it now. Hurry up and give him the antidote. Yeah. It's useless to say all that now. Hurry up and give him the antidote. Don't look at me. I don't have the antidote. Wang Si Miao took out his own pill and fed it to that person. Very quickly, the dark complexion on that person's face disappeared. It's done. It's really done. The people around all shouted. This antidote is actually real. Luckily, I bought it just now, or else the price would increase if I bought it now. God, why didn't I buy it just now? Go, let's hurry up and buy it now. Didn't Tang Yin say that the quantity is limited? If we're late, there won't be any left. As they spoke, those people swarmed towards Sima Yue. Hua Piao Miao walked over and squatted down to check that person's body, saying, "The poison is indeed cured. Looks like this pill is really useful." Even Shui Rou said it's real. What's so strange about it? Wang Si Miao looked at the other person on the ground. Too bad he's not that smart and lost his life for nothing. Now that there are more and more golden scorpions, our situation is getting more and more dangerous. I don't know how the others are doing. Hua Piao Miao said worriedly. Wang Si Miao glanced at her and looked into the distance, saying indifferently, "We have to tell the school about this and let them handle it. So I have to go back." Go back. Even if it's you or me, we'll be disqualified if we go back now. Hua Piao Miao's voice was raised because she was too shocked. Everyone who was cleaning up the mess heard her and looked over. He wanted to go back. If he went back, what would happen to them? For this matter, someone has to go back. Wang Si Miao said, and that person has to have the ability to leave this place alone. Then what about your competition? Give it up. Wang Si Miao said without hesitation. Although the competition is important, these people are more important. As long as we're with them, we can still guarantee their safety for 2 months. You don't have to give up the competition and go back. Hua Piao Miao said disapprovingly. Although these people are with us, what about the others? There are only a few dozen people here, but there are tens of thousands of students here. What about them? Will there be people to protect them? Not necessarily. So I have to go back. Or if one of us goes back, who do you think should go back? He looked at Hua Piao Miao. Seeing her silence, he smiled faintly. After a minute of silence, Hua Piao Miao asked, "Then when do you plan to leave?" "Now. You really don't want to reconsider?" Hua Piao Miao tried to convince him. "I'll have to trouble you to take care of these students." After speaking, he left her and went to inform the others. Sima Yue and the rest were already paying attention to the situation here. Seeing Wang Si Miao's cold attitude towards Hua Piao Miao, she asked Mo Bin curiously, "Didn't they say they're a couple? Why doesn't it look like it?" "Who said they're a couple?" Mo Bin shook his head and said, "It's impossible for Wang Si Miao and Hua Piao Miao to be together." "Why?" Yue saw his certainty and asked curiously. "I love my academy. Actively cooperate with the special action to combat obscene and pornographic information on the internet. Thank you, everyone." Chapter 848. Because Hua Piao Miao killed Wang Si Miao's sister and his most beloved woman, Mo Bin said, although he didn't take revenge on her, he still bears a grudge in his heart. Looks like their relationship isn't bad. Fatty Chu curled his lips and said, "How can it be good?" Lunatic, he drank a mouthful of wine and leaned over to say, "Hua Piao Miao likes Mo Bin, but Mo Bin doesn't like her and has been ignoring her. Haven't you noticed that she has a lot of opinions about us? It's because Mo Bin is with us and not with her." Scared me. I was wondering why she always had such a cold face when she saw us. Turns out there were so many twists and turns involved. Fatty Chu said, especially Bei Gong. When she looks at Bei Gong, it's as if she wants to eat someone. Wei Zi Chi said, "Isn't that so? When a woman's vinegar jar is knocked over, it's very scary." He Feng said, "But she didn't pester Mo Bin. It's probably because of his pride," Sima Yue said. She turned to look at Wang Si Miao, who was talking to someone. His beloved woman and sister had both died because of the same person. No matter what the reason was, he must be sad. However, he was very rational and didn't seek revenge on her. He was still able to enter and leave the academy with her. No wonder there was a hint of sadness in his cold eyes. Senior Mo, she's the #1 beauty of the academy, and she's also very strong. I've heard that her background isn't bad either. How would you not like her? You could even be so heartless as to ignore her. Normal people wouldn't be able to do that. Just like that Pang Jianan, he couldn't wait to have his eyes glued to her body. Fatty Chu laughed and teased Mo Bin. Mo Bin smiled, but did not answer him. If he didn't like her, he just didn't like her. There was no need for so many reasons. However, Sima Yue felt that something was wrong. She looked at Mo Bin, then at Pang Jianan and Wang Ximiao. Something was wrong. What's wrong? Bei Gong Tang saw her frown and immediately knew that something was wrong. Do you feel that something is wrong? Sima Yue asked. What's wrong? Bei Gong Tang didn't really listen to their conversation and didn't think too much about it. Lunatic said that Hua Piao Miao likes Mo Bin. Sima Yue said, but Fatty said that Pang Jianan wanted to kill him because Hua Piao Miao and Wang Ximiao were together. Don't you think it's a bit contradictory? I think so. Bei Gong Tang said, logically speaking, since Pang Jianan likes Hua Piao Miao, he should hate Mo Bin. Why would he say that he wants to kill Wang Ximiao? That's right. However, what Fatty said must be true. Sima Yue said, that's why I feel that it's a little strange. Why is that? Bei Gong Tang did not understand. Sima Yue shook her head. She could not figure out either. I can't think of anything. Let's wait and see. Try not to let Fatty act alone. That's the only way. After Tang Yin sold all the pills that Sima Yue gave him, he threw a crystal card to her. Here, 80 pills, 3,000 each, sold for 240,000. Adding on 50 prevention pills for 15,000. The total is 259,000. Sima Yue kept the crystal card and smiled. Thanks. If you thank me like this, you're not sincere at all. I help you sell so many pills. Tang Yin said. Sima Yue took out 2 spirit fruits and threw them back. Thank you. Tang Yin wanted to say that 2 spirit fruits were enough to dismiss him, but he swallowed those words back. He realized that these 2 spirit fruits were not ordinary. They were much rarer than normal spirit fruits. This is not bad. I'll keep it. The sky is bright. What should we do next? Lunatic asked. We can walk around the desert and see if we can find any golden scorpions. Don't you want to collect the golden scorpion's tails? Tang Yin took a bite of the spirit fruit. The sweet juice flowed through his teeth, causing him to close his eyes in pleasure. It's so delicious. Is it that delicious? Lunatic, he did not believe him. It was not like they had not eaten spirit fruits before. Did this guy have to be like this? You'll know once you try it. Tang Yin said, but I don't plan to give it to you. You can just watch. At this moment, Wang Ximiao walked over and said to little 7 and Mo Bin, I'm going back. You guys are much stronger, so you should take care of those students. No. Little 7 rejected. We're leaving soon. Just let them wait here. Little 7. Wang Ximiao looked at her pleadingly. No, I don't want to be with that peacock. Little 7 said, I'm not as kind as you. With you around, they'll be safer. Wang Ximiao said, I'm not their bodyguard. Little 7 snorted. They won't be grateful to me for protecting them. A bunch of ingrates. Furthermore, you and the rest have already decided to go to the desert. I'll definitely follow her. Wang Ximiao looked at Sima Yue and said, Student Sima, Senior Wang, I believe that with Senior Hua and the rest around, everyone will be fine. Sima Yue did not wait for him to finish speaking before she spoke. I think that freshmen like us will be a burden to everyone if we stay here. For everyone's safety, it's better for us to leave. Although she wanted to help the other students, when Lian ridiculed her, when Hua Piao Miao and the rest despised her, no one stood up for her. She did not want to help people like them. She was willing to sell the elixirs to them because they were all students of the academy. If she would be their bodyguard, it would be impossible. But, Senior Wang, I think that you should go back earlier and inform the academy. The academy should send people over earlier. That way, everyone will be out of danger sooner. Sima Yue interrupted him. Wang Ximiao saw how determined Sima Yue was and knew that she was angry with everyone. He did not say anything else. He turned to look at Mo Bin and the rest. Don't ask me to go with them. You know that I want to vomit when I see peacocks. Tang Yin rejected him directly. I said that I want to go with you. Yifeng said, I'll go with them. And Mo Bin said, you have to believe that the people from the academy will not be too bad. Since you decided to go back, you should leave earlier. All right then. Wang Ximiao did not force them. After all, they were the ones who offended Yue and the rest first. Yu, where's the poison that you made last time? Little 7 asked. Sima Yue was stunned. She took out a small black bottle and a small red bottle and handed them to Wang Si Miao, saying, "The black bottle is the poison and the red bottle is the antidote. This poison can poison a monarch-level expert for 10 minutes." Wang Si Miao looked at Sima Yue and Little Seven in confusion. "I'm giving it to you, so just take it just in case." "All right, you should go." Little Seven stuffed the 2 bottles into his arms and said, Chapter 849, Crazy Wife, the 5th Miss of the Divine Doctor. Book title, 849. Chapter 849, The Excited Little Golden Snake Author. Wang Si Miao was puzzled, but when he saw Pang Jia and then walking towards him, he took the bottle and said to Sima Yu, "Thank you." Pang Jia then walked over and said, "You're really going back?" I've decided I'll set off immediately." Wang Si Miao replied, "Be careful on the way." "I know." Wang Si Miao called out his flying beast and flew towards the desert. After he left, Little Seven said to Sima Yu, let's go." "You're leaving?" Pang Jia then asked curiously. "We want to go to other places to look. Maybe we can meet other people." Sima Yu said, "But it's safer for everyone to stay together. You guys already have 1 pill each. There shouldn't be much of a problem before the sect members come." Sima Yu said, "Let's go." Little Seven urged. Without Wang Si Miao, she didn't want to see these people. Sima Yu nodded and said goodbye to everyone, ignoring their pleas to stay, and left. They didn't ask her to stay because they were sincere, but because they wanted her pills and Little Seven's battle power. Hua Piao Miao saw Mo Bin leave. Her eyes flashed with anger, but it disappeared quickly. She bit her lips, smiled, and chatted with the people around her. Chongming led everyone away and flew away from the oasis. Little Seven said disdainfully, "That's good. We don't have to see that peacock anymore." Little Seven, based on your personality, if you don't like her, you would have punched her long ago. How can you endure it this time? Sima Yu teased. "Isn't it because of old Yuan? He said they're the sect students. If they didn't do anything wrong, we can't beat them." Little Seven said, "So I can't beat them, although I really want to." Seeing the helpless look on Little Seven's face, everyone couldn't help but laugh. Usually, she wanted to beat anyone she saw, but now she wanted to beat them, but couldn't. It made them happy. Hiss hiss, hiss hiss. Sima Yu felt Little Golden was agitated in the spirit pagoda, so she called it out. "Hiss, what's wrong, Little Golden?" Sima Yu saw Little Golden slithering around her body and touched its head. Hiss hiss. Xiao Jin wrapped itself around her finger and looked at her with shining eyes. Hiss. Sima Yu tapped its head with her other hand and said with a smile, "I don't understand what you're talking about. This snake is very cute. Can it speak?" Tang Yin looked at the Little Golden snake curiously. Not. Generally, snakes gave people a cold and sinister feeling. Being glanced at by a snake would always make people feel a chill down their backs. But Little Golden was different. Its small size made it very cute. Its gaze was not as cold as normal snakes, but instead, it was cold. Of course, this coldness disappeared when it looked at Yu. Hiss hiss. Little Golden looked at Sima Yu. Its little tail poked her, and then pointed in a direction. "You want us to go in that direction?" Sima Yu asked. Little Golden nodded. Sima Yu looked at everyone. Seeing that no one objected, she nodded her head and said, "All right, since we don't have a fixed direction, we'll do as you say." Chongming, fly in the direction that Little Golden pointed. She didn't know what Little Golden wanted to do, but her instincts told her that it wasn't simple. Little Golden was an ancient creature. If it was interested in something, how could it be ordinary? On the way, Sima Yu and the rest met a few groups of students from the school. When they met a better person, she would sell them the pills at a cheaper price, then bring them to a safer place and let them form a group. With more people, it would be safer if they stayed together. Other than these scattered people, she also met a few groups from tens to hundreds of people. With more people, more pills would be needed. They had no choice but to stop in the middle and enter the Spirit Pagoda when Mo Bin and the rest weren't paying attention, to refine the pills before coming out. After flying for more than 10 days, everyone arrived at a huge oasis. Little Golden didn't wait for them to land. It flew out with a whoosh, disappearing in front of everyone in the blink of an eye. Little Golden! Sima Yu saw it fly away and called out, but it didn't come back. Seems like this is where Little Golden wants to come to. Everyone landed at the edge of the oasis. This was where Xiao Jin had disappeared. It's so quiet here. Mo Bin immediately realized that something was wrong. It was as if there were no living creatures in the oasis. It was ridiculously quiet. Where did Little Golden go? It seems to have burrowed into the yellow sand. Should we go down? Yifeng said. Sima Yu thought about it and said no. You're not worried about it. We're not familiar with this place. If we go down rashly, I'm afraid it'll be more dangerous. Sima Yu said, why don't we wait for it up there? What if it meets with danger down there? I think there's no spirit beast here that can be its opponent. Sima Yu said, although she had never seen Little Golden fight before, from the aura that Little Golden occasionally emitted, normal spirit beasts were not its opponent. Even if it was a monarch-ranked expert, it could easily flip them over with a flick of its tail. I wonder what can attract it down there. Bei Gong Tang said curiously. Maybe we'll know when it comes out. Rustle. A rustling sound came from below the yellow sand. It was especially noticeable in this quiet environment. No wonder it's so quiet here. There's a big guy down there. Tang Yin heard the sound and immediately guessed the situation below. Everyone, be careful, Mo Bin said. Sima Yu and Bei Gong Tang took out a precautionary pill and distributed it to everyone, saying, take the precautionary pill first. It's best if you can keep the antidote in your mouth, just in case. Not only did everyone have one antidote, everyone also called out their contracted beasts and gave one to each of them. Tang Yin and the other two were stunned when they saw so many contracted beasts. Damn, 30 to 40 contracted beasts. Is this a spirit beast army? Tang Yin couldn't help but curse. This array would definitely scare people to death if they went out. This was still considered good. If they knew about the elders and four-winged rocks in the spirit pagoda, they would be even more shocked. Everyone be careful. This number is not an ordinary number. Sima Yulin said, Fatty Chu, distribute the thunderbolt bullets to everyone. Use it when necessary. Sima Yu said. Fatty Chu was stunned. They actually had to use thunderbolt bullets? How many golden scorpions were coming this time? Gentlemen's Assembly Reading Network. Chapter 850. Read on a phone. Covering the sky and covering the earth. Tens of thousands of golden scorpions came out from the yellow sand, and the entire oasis was occupied in an instant. Damn, so many. Eat this young master's thunderbolt first. Fatty Chu looked at the sky full of golden scorpions and took out a thunderbolt bullet. After injecting his spirit energy, he threw it out. Boom, dash. The thunderbolt bullet exploded, killing a large number of golden scorpions. So powerful. Tang Yin stared dumbfoundedly at the empty corpses and said excitedly, It's so fun, I want to play too. After speaking, he took out a thunderbolt bullet and imitated Fatty Chu, injecting spirit energy into it before throwing it out. Boom, dash. Those golden scorpions had just flown up when they were hit by the thunderbolt bullet. Those in the center were even turned into ashes. Not to mention their tails, there wasn't even a speck of them left. Those outside the center were shocked to death, leaving behind broken limbs. Some were even left with whole corpses. What a pity! Fatty Chu looked at the results and felt that it was a pity. It would be great if they could leave their tails behind. You still have the mood to feel pity? Hurry up and do it. Otherwise, don't cry when you get stung. Ouyang Fei stood beside Fatty Chu and glanced at him. I know, Fatty Chu said. Let's see who kills more. How about it? Bei Gong, you come too. All right. As you wish, don't cry if you get beaten up. Bei Gong Tang said with a smile. We still don't know who will win or lose. Fatty Chu flew over after speaking. Fatty, you're cheating. Bei Gong Tang scolded him and flew out with Ouyang Fei. Sima Yu saw them fly out and said to He Feng, Didn't you say you wanted to compete with me? We don't have to fight directly. Let's use today as a comparison. Let's see who gets the most tails and who wins. How about it? All right. Hefeng nodded. But if I get more than you, you still have to fight with me. All right. Sima Yue said, releasing the aura of a beginner divine emperor. She condensed her spirit energy and attacked. Divine Emperor. Mo Bin was shocked by Sima Yue's strength. Such a young divine emperor. I'm coming too. Hefeng quickly recovered from his astonishment and chased after him. All of you compete. Then I'll join as well, Tang Yin said, and flew away. The thunderbolt bombs were thrown out one by one, and the golden scorpions were completely defenseless in front of them. Although there were many golden scorpions, and they flew out of the yellow sand wave after wave, almost half of them were killed by the thunderbolt bombs. In addition, none of them were weak. After a few hours, most of them were wiped out. The remaining ones saw that the situation was not right and quickly hid in the yellow sand to escape. Hefeng flew over and said, I have 2,800. What about you? 200 more than you. Exactly 3,000, Sima Yue said with a smile. She actually has 200 more than me. Hefeng was a little discouraged. It seemed like he wouldn't be able to compete with her. Maybe we'll meet in the second round. Sima Yue said, I'll go check on them. After saying that, she flew away, leaving Hefeng alone in the air. Crazy you've lost, but it's not embarrassing to lose to her. Tang Yin flew over and patted him on the shoulder. I didn't expect her to be a divine emperor. I know, 200 less than her. Hefeng sighed. His battle power was not even comparable to a new student. Not only that, you ate a pill to recover your spiritual energy during the battle, but she didn't eat anything from the start to the end. Mo Bin said what Tang Yin wanted to say. Hefeng's mouth was wide open as he looked at Sima Yue's back as she spoke to them. He didn't close his mouth for a long time. Fatty Chu and the rest were counting their battle results. Although he was full of fighting spirit, the final result was that he had the least points. Just as he was feeling depressed, he saw Sima Yue come over. He waved at her and said, Yue, how many golden scorpions did you kill? 3,000. Sima Yue said, So, who won the bet between the three of you? Do you even need to ask? Of course, it's Ouyang. Apart from you, he's the strongest. Fatty Chu said unwillingly, but I'm only 200 less than him. What about Bei Gong? I'm 2,300, right in between the two of them. Bei Gong Tang said with a smile, You're still the best, killing 3,000 alone. There are more golden scorpions this time, so everyone's gains are not bad. If we bring these back, we might be able to rank in the top 1,000. Sima Yue said, Why are there so many golden scorpions here? Bei Gong Tang asked. I think this should be the source of the change in Kama Desert. Sima Yue also finished cleaning up his area and walked over. When he heard Bei Gong Tang's question, he guessed. Here, there are more golden scorpions here than in other places. Their strength is higher than in other places, and their bodies are longer. Sima Yuran said, Also, a place that can make little golden disregard everything is definitely not an ordinary place. So it's possible that this is the reason for the change in Kama Desert. Fatty Chu was interested when he heard this and asked, Then should we go down and take a look? Go down to do what? Sima Yulin said, You don't even know what's going on down there. Do you think you're as strong as Little Golden? Fatty Chu rubbed his nose, unable to refute this. Yulin is right. We don't know what's going on down there. Let's wait for Little Golden to come up first. Sima Yue said, When the sex teachers come over, we can tell them what's going on here and let them decide whether or not to investigate further. With so many golden scorpions, we don't have to go anywhere else. Let's go to the oasis and wait for Little Golden. Let's wait first. If Little Golden doesn't come up in 2 days, I'll go down and take a look. Sima Yue said, Let's go back to the oasis now. Just as she spoke, a golden ray of light suddenly shot out from the yellow sand and enveloped them all, making them unable to move. What's going on? Fatty Chu cried out. Nobody had time to speak. The yellow sand below moved and quickly formed a huge whirlpool, sucking them all in. At the same time, in other parts of the desert, everyone saw this ray of light. At the oasis where Yu and the others met Wang Si Miao, two teachers had just arrived and understood the situation. When they saw the golden ray of light, they looked at each other and said, "Let's go and take a look." They opened a space tunnel and brought everyone in. The other teachers did the same. They brought the students they found and opened a space tunnel to rush in. Hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from the Kama Desert, those forces felt an ancient aura spreading out from the desert. Many experts of those forces ran out. When they saw the golden light, they didn't have time to explain anything. They directly broke through the void and rushed over. Chapter 851, Crazy Wife, the Fifth Miss of the Divine Doctor. Book title, 851. Chapter 851, The Ancient Altar. Author less than half an hour after the golden light shot out. The Karma Desert was filled with experts. What's going on? The people who came later saw familiar faces and asked about the situation. I don't know. No one recognized the origin of this golden light. Such an ancient aura. It must be something from the ancient times. I don't think it's just that. The ancient aura doesn't have such a strong aura. I'm guessing that it's at least from the ancient times. An old man with a long beard said while stroking his beard. If it's really from the ancient times, then we can't act rashly. If we're not careful, we'll lose our lives. Mo Bin, Huak Piao Miao, suddenly shouted and quickly flew to the ground. She picked up a jade pendant and flew back quickly. The yellow sand kept flowing into the whirlpool. The jade pendant was at the edge of the whirlpool. If it wasn't for her sharp eyes and quick hands, it would have fallen in. What's wrong, Piao Miao? Mao Sen Quan saw that she ignored her own danger to pick up the jade pendant and looked at her with slight blame. Instructor Mao, this is Mo Bin's jade pendant. Hua Piao Miao said. Are you sure? Mao San Quan's expression changed immediately. This jade pendant has always been on his belt. His mother gave it to him, so I recognize it. Hua Piao Miao said confidently. So Mo Bin was sucked in by the sand. A teacher at the side said. Very likely. Mao San Quan said in a low voice. Do you know who he's with? Tang Yin and He Feng and the people from the Thunderbolt team. Pang Jia Nen said. Sima Yue and Little Seven are in there too? Yes. These guys, what are they doing here? Mao San Quan scolded. Instructor Mao, should we go down and take a look? A teacher asked. Go down? How do we go down? Look at them. Can we go down? Mao San Quan was anxious. The whirlpool was surrounded by the golden light. Some people wanted to go down, but they were blocked by the golden light. So even if Mao San Quan and the rest wanted to go down and save Yu Yue and the rest, they were too far away. They could only be anxious here. These guys, go back and face the wall one by one. Mao San Quan scolded again and called all the teachers together to discuss countermeasures. At the same time, he paid attention to the situation at the golden light to see if anyone could go down. The academy's teachers on the ground were extremely anxious, afraid that something bad had happened to them. On the other hand, Sima Yue and the others were completely fine as they stared at their surroundings with their mouths agape. After they fell, the golden light disappeared and everyone regained their freedom. Now, he didn't know how many meters he was underground. It was no longer the yellow sand of the desert, but a hard wall. The walls were engraved with various patterns, some of which were of various spirit beasts, and some of which were of humans. The appearance of spirit beasts was somewhat different from the spirit beasts of today, and the clothing of humans was also very different from now. These murals seemed to be from a very long time ago. Tang Yin said, These are all ancient human clothing. Mo Bin reached out to touch the carvings and said excitedly, Primordial era? Are you sure? How could something from that time be left behind until now? Tang Yin said in shock, It can't be wrong. This is the same as the description in a book I read last time. Mo Bin said with certainty, Why are these murals still here after so many years? Won't they be eroded by the wind? Sima Yuming asked. Mo Bin, You're quite knowledgeable about the ancient era. Do you know what this is? He Feng asked. Mo Bin looked carefully at the contents of the murals and the decorations here, saying, "This should be an altar from the ancient era." Altar? There are only walls here, no altar. Sima Yulu said, "This is the outside of the altar. The altar should be in the middle." Mo Bin said, "Because it's an altar, it was carefully protected by the people of the ancient era. Aren't altars in the open? No matter how you look at it, it looks like a cave." Fatty Chu said, "I'm guessing that this place used to be protected by a spirit barrier. Later on, the world changed, and this place sank into the ground. Soil covered it, but could only pile up outside the spirit barrier. After a long time, this place became an underground cave." Mo Bin guessed, "It can be like this?" Everyone was surprised. "Look at this wall. It's been repaired very well. It's not a natural stone, but a man-made one." Mo Bin said, "Too mysterious. Let's take a look in front." Okay. They passed through the passageway and entered a courtyard. In the middle of the courtyard, there was a cauldron. The incense inside had already solidified into stone. Wow, 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 a treasure. Fatty Chu was excited when he saw the cauldron. He ran over and hugged it excitedly. "It's something from the ancient era. It's really not bad," Ouyang Fei said. "So heavy." Fatty Chu hugged it, but found that he couldn't lift it at all. "Isn't it just a cauldron? Is it that heavy?" Sima Yulu walked over and tried, but he couldn't lift it at all. "Ha ha ha. At least I moved it a little." "You didn't move at all," Fatty Chu said with a big laugh. "Is it really that heavy? Are you two not strong enough?" He Feng didn't believe it. He felt that they weren't strong enough. He went up and tried, but the cauldron didn't move at all. "This should be a divine artifact from the ancient era," Mo Bin said. "People from the ancient era valued sacrifices very much. They used the best things at that time. No wonder we can't move it." Sima Yulu said, "Fatty Chu is a body refiner. His body is stronger than yours. He's much stronger." Sima Yi walked over and said, "If he isn't stronger than you, his years of hard work would be wasted. Yu, don't you have a body refiner as well? Why don't you give it a try?" Fatty Chu said, "Yeah, let's try." Okay. Sima Yu walked in front of the cauldron. She grabbed one of the cauldron's ears and used her strength. The cauldron was lifted up by 10 centimeters. The cauldron landed on the ground with a loud sound. "I can only move it a little." You can lift it up by 10 centimeters. Fatty Chu hugged the cauldron and cried, "All right, Yu is often struck by lightning. If you have nothing to do, you'll get a lot of strength. Don't cry here," Wei Ziqi advised. Sima Yu and Fatty Chu pursed their lips. Was this how they advised others? Mo Bin and the other two were shocked when they heard that she was often struck by lightning. "How did you survive?" "That's how I survived." Sima Yu didn't want to talk about this. She changed the topic and said, "Let's go inside and take a look. Who knows, little Golden might be inside. It's possible." They shot out flames to light up the front. After passing through the courtyard, they walked through a long corridor. Before they reached the end, they heard fighting sounds coming from inside. Gentlemen's Assembly Hall Reading Network. Chapter 852. When Sima Yue and the rest walked to the end of the corridor, they saw a huge golden scorpion as soon as they opened the door. Opposite, it was a small snake that was less than a foot long and the size of a little finger. Please search to see the most complete. Update the fastest. Behind the golden scorpion, on a huge altar, a golden stone emitted a bright light, directly piercing through the stone's ceiling and shooting out. This was the golden light that had frozen them in place. Little Gold. Fatty Chu's low breathing attracted Xiao Jin and the golden scorpion's attention. Hiss, hiss. When the little golden snake saw Sima Yue and the rest, it wagged its tail happily at them. It was not nervous at all. What a huge golden scorpion. The average golden scorpion was less than a foot long. This might be the golden scorpion king. It was more than 3 meters long from head to tail, 10 times the size of the smaller ones. The golden scorpion's strength was already at the peak of the monarch rank. It didn't care about the few humans who had barged in at all. It didn't take any action and just looked at the little golden snake with vigilance. Sima Yue looked around and saw that many things were in disarray. There were also some wounds on the golden scorpion's body. It seemed that they had fought a battle. Then what's that at the back? Everyone looked at Mo Bin. He knew the most about the supreme, ancient, immortal realms here. Mo Bin shook his head. I don't know either, but I think the change in the golden scorpion should be related to it. I think so too, Fatty Chu said. If we get our hands on it, I wonder if we will mutate as well. You can give it a try. Who knows, you might be able to grow 2 wings. Wei Ziqi said. Fatty Chu imagined a pair of wings on his back and couldn't help but shudder, saying, forget about it. Let's retreat outside. Mo Bin saw that the little golden snake and the golden scorpion were about to attack, so he led everyone back and set up a barrier to protect everyone. Sima Yue looked at his skillful movements. His attainments in enchantments should not be low. The golden scorpion swung its long tail at the little golden snake. The little golden snake dodged quickly and spat out a mouthful of venom. The golden scorpion's body was huge, but it wasn't clumsy at all. Its dodging speed was quite fast. With the support of its tail on the ground, its body flashed to the other side. However, a little bit of the venom still touched its feet, corroding a small hole in its hard shell. The golden scorpion let out a scream and continued to attack with its tail. The little golden snake kept dodging and taking advantage of the gaps to counterattack. Everyone looked at the snake and scorpion. Their battle speed was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, they had already exchanged several blows. However, no matter how they looked at it, they felt that the little golden snake was playing with the golden scorpion. Xiao Jin, if you continue to play, the item will be snatched away. Sima Yue reminded. The golden light was so eye-catching, and its aura was so ancient. It would definitely attract many people. When those people came down, the golden stone would cause another storm. The little golden snake didn't know the twists and turns, but it understood Sima Yue's words. It blinked at her, then turned its head to look at the golden scorpion and stuck out its tongue. Then its tail grew infinitely, from half a foot long to 3 to 4 meters long. At the same time, its tail also grew bigger. Although its head was still small, its tail became as thick as an adult's waist. The golden scales emitted a dazzling light under the golden light. Although it was the same color as the golden scorpion, it looked much more noble. What beautiful scales! Everyone was stunned. They never knew that a snake's scales could be so beautiful. When the golden scorpion saw the little golden snake's tail, it thought of something and suddenly revealed a terrified expression. It turned its head and ran into a tunnel. However, the little golden snake was faster than it. With a swing of its tail, the golden scorpion's upper body was flattened just like that. What a powerful battle strength! Everyone's jaws almost fell to the ground. When they saw the little golden snake, they subconsciously swallowed their saliva. Although the golden scorpion's strongest point was its venom, its shell was still relatively hard. Especially for a scorpion of the golden scorpion king's level, its shell was even harder. A golden scorpion with the strength of a monarch rank was killed by a swing of its tail. How powerful was it? The little golden snake didn't care about everyone's reaction. It used its tail to wrap around the golden scorpion's tail and brought it in front of Sima Yue, as if it was silently asking for credit. Sima Yue used her spiritual power to hold on to the tail. Only then did the little golden snake let go. The tail then began to shrink and quickly returned to its usual small size. Hiss, hiss! It flew toward the glowing stone on the altar. Suddenly, it opened its mouth wide and swallowed it whole. Little Seven. Sima Yue saw Little Seven's actions and was shocked. She wanted to stop it, but it was too late. She could only watch as it swallowed the stone. Hiss, hiss! Bang! After the little golden snake swallowed the stone, it fell straight to the ground. Everyone rushed out of the spirit barrier and ran over. Sima Yue carried Little Seven. She saw that its eyes were wide open and its body couldn't move. It didn't seem to be in any danger. You eat everything. Aren't you afraid that it's poisonous? Sima Yue's heart finally relaxed. She stretched out her hand and flicked its little head, scolding it. The little golden snake couldn't move. It could only blink innocently and then fell asleep. Fifth bro, is little Golden okay? Sima Yue asked. It should be fine. Sima Yue kept little Golden into the spirit pagoda. Mo Bin and the others noticed, but didn't say anything. Let's go take a look at the scorpion's tail. The golden scorpion's tail took up more than half of its body. It was close to 2 meters long. The poison gland inside was definitely big. Who knows? The people above might come down in a while. Let's keep it first. Tang Yin said. No need. Sima Yue said. It's hard to say if we keep it. That's true. Sima Yue looked at Mo Bin and the others, saying, about little Golden, please keep a secret. I will give you some things as thanks. No need, Mo Bin said. There's nothing much to say about this. No, you have to thank us. Tang Yin stopped them. Give us more of the spirit fruit as thanks. PFFF, Sima Yue laughed, saying, okay, I'll let you eat until you're full. I don't need it either. I just want to have a duel with you, if you're willing. How about it? Feng said. Sima Yue didn't think that he still hadn't given up. She nodded. Okay. At this time, a sound came from outside. A group of people came out from the tunnel. The ones leading were Mao San Quan and 2 teachers from a sect. There was a group of people who she didn't know behind them. Chapter 853. Book title, Encounter and Murder on the Road. Author seeing that Sima Yue and the rest were fine. Mao San Quan and the teachers' faces relaxed. What's wrong with you guys? Why are you here? Mao San Quan asked with a long face. We didn't want to come either. Tang Yin said, feeling wronged. We were also implicated. What the hell is going on? Mo Bin, you speak. Mao San Quan looked at Mo Bin and said. The people who came in with them also shifted their attention from the golden scorpion to them, wanted to know what was going on. Mo Bin said that they came here by chance and encountered tens of thousands of golden scorpions. After a great battle, they had just won when a golden light appeared out of nowhere and covered them. A desert whirlpool appeared and swept them all in. In the end, they fell here. What about after we arrive here? What did you see? Did you guys kill this golden scorpion? Someone asked anxiously. No. Mo Bin shook his head. This golden scorpion was killed by a huge python. When we couldn't get in from the outside, we saw a huge python fighting with a golden scorpion. In the end, the golden scorpion was killed by a tail strike. After that, the python ate the glowing thing on the altar and left. It didn't hurt you, someone asked. Maybe it was in a hurry to digest it, so it didn't hurt us. It even threw the golden scorpion's corpse to us. Mo Bin replied. It meant that these things were all ours. Judging from the traces and smells here, there was indeed a snake clan here. The snake clan is the most sinister and vicious. How could they let a few humans go? Someone questioned. It can't be that you little fellows swallowed it, right? Is that python your contracted beast or something you made up? Hearing this, those people's eyes became unfriendly. Mao San Quan stood in front of them and said, maybe it's just as he said, it's in a hurry to absorb that thing, so it doesn't want to waste time here. Or rather, it sensed that we were up there and knew that we would come down once the light was gone, so it quickly left. That's right. Furthermore, look at the strength of this golden scorpion. How strong is a snake that can kill it with a single tail? What kind of spirit beast do you think they'll be able to contract with? Even you guys might not be able to do it, let alone 3 students. Mao San Quan continued to refute their words. Those people were left speechless by Mao San Quan's words. If you don't have any evidence, then don't casually suspect my academy students. They are all well-behaved and good children. Mao San Quan snorted. Sima Yue and the rest lowered their heads when they heard Mao San Quan's words. If that wasn't the case, they wouldn't be able to hide the smile in their eyes. However, they looked like they had been wronged, which made those who doubted them feel a little resentful. Since this thing was given to you by that snake, you can take it. Yes, Director Mao. Sima Yue walked over and kept the golden scorpion's body before returning to stand behind Mao San Quan. Where did the python leave from? Someone asked. Over there. It transformed into a small form and flew away. If you want to chase after it, you have to pay attention to whether it's hiding somewhere. Bin kindly reminded. Let's go look for it. Someone chased in the direction he only knew, but in the end, he was destined to get nothing. This is a sacrificial altar from the immemorial era. I didn't expect it to be hidden under the desert. Since they couldn't get that thing, they could only focus on the sacrificial altar. Other than here, have you guys been other places? Mao San Quan asked. No. Bring them to the surface. We'll observe the situation below. Mao San Quan said to a teacher. They wanted to understand the situation here, so they had to investigate further. However, the situation here was unclear. Bringing a few students was too dangerous. Okay, the teacher said to Yue and the rest. Let's go up. Sima Yue and the rest knew that it wasn't their turn to participate in the following matters, so they obediently followed the teacher back to the surface. When the students who were guarding above saw Sima Yue and the rest coming up, they were all amazed at how lucky they were to return safely after being swept down. They thought that they were dead for sure. When Hua Piao Miao saw Bin coming up, she walked over and passed the jade pendant in her hand to him, saying gently, "This is the jade pendant you dropped in the desert. I'm returning it to you now." Bin had long realized that his jade pendant was missing and thought that he would never find it again. He didn't expect her to pick it up. Thank you. He took the jade pendant and thanked her lightly. The students are all at the oasis. Let's go over too. Hua Piao Miao said. Luckily, the oasis was big enough to accommodate tens of thousands of people. The people from the school arrived here first, so they had the upper hand and occupied the pool. When Sima Yue and the rest arrived, they realized that the students from the school were all here. Yue, thank you for your pill. I was stung by the golden scorpion once, and only managed to survive after taking your pill. A student came over and bowed to Sima Yue, thanking her for saving his life. You bought yourself. It's yours. You don't have to thank me like that. Sima Yue helped him up and said, I still have to thank you. If you didn't refine this pill, where would we go to buy it? If we were stung, we would only be like the others, waiting for death. That person said loudly. Many people thought so too. If she didn't research the antidote for them, they didn't dare to think about their fates this time. They might even lose their lives here. Therefore, they still worshipped and respected her. Sima Yue exchanged pleasantries with them for a while, then went to the lake. Little Seven saw Wang Si Miao standing under the tree by the lake and pulled Sima Yue over. You're quite fast. Little Seven greeted. Wang Si Miao was thinking about something. When he heard Little Seven, he turned around and saw the two people walking over. Why are you here alone? Sima Yue asked. I'm thinking about something, Wang Si Miao said. Seeing that the surrounding students were far away, he cupped his hands towards Sima Yue and said, Thank you for the poison you gave me before I went back. You used it? I used it, Wang Si Miao said. When I was going back, I was attacked on the way back. The opponent was very strong. If it wasn't for the poison you gave me, I wouldn't have been able to return to the school. So dangerous? Sima Yue said. Then do you know who killed you? I guessed the person, but I didn't know the reason. Wang Si Miao said doubtfully. Gentleman's Alliance. Chapter 854. Wang Si Miao couldn't think of an answer. Suddenly, he remembered that Yue and the others had given him the antidote. Didn't that mean that they already knew that he would be ambushed? You already knew? He stared at the two of them. Fatty heard that someone wanted to kill you. Little Seven said, Why did he want to kill me? At that time, it was because there were rumors that you and Hua Piao Miao were together. Sima Yue said, At that time, we thought it was true, but after we found out about it, we denied it. I'm with Hua Piao Miao. Why didn't I know about this? Wang Si Miao was startled. In the eyes of outsiders, the two of you do look like a couple. Even we think so. Afterwards, I heard from Bin about the grudge between you and Hua Piao Miao and the matter of her liking Bin. Only then did I know that his reason was not valid. Sima Yue said, If that's the case, why don't you think that he won't kill me? because he was talking to someone who was completely covered in a cloak. He felt strange and wasn't sure if he would really kill you, so little Seven took precautions. Sima Yue explained. His entire body is hidden in a cloak? Wang Si Miao frowned. That would make it difficult to recognize him. He cupped his hands at Sima Yue and said gratefully, "No matter what, I still have to thank you." "You're welcome." Sima Yue cupped her hands. On the other side, when Peng Jianan saw the three of them talking, his eyes were clouded. Who would have thought that those people actually failed? This Wang Si Miao's life was really tough. Let's see if you'll be so lucky next time. The other party seemed to have sensed his killing intent and looked over. He immediately lowered his head and concealed his killing intent. It seems like he hasn't given up on killing you. Sima Yue could feel the killing intent. She knew who it was without looking. This time you just caught me off guard. Now that I'm on guard, it won't be so easy for him to make a move on me. Wang Si Miao snorted coldly. I think so too, Sima Yue said. Seeing that the oasis was filled with people, she asked, "Are all the students of the academy here? Other than the dead ones, the rest are all here." Wang Si Miao said, "How many died? 200 or 300? It's much better than expected." Wang Si Miao said, "If it weren't for the antidote you developed, I'm afraid the number would have increased by several times. We're happy to be able to help everyone." Sima Yue said, "But some of the students are probably scared. They might feel better when they get back. After such an incident, I don't know if the matter of the billboard is still over. Will there be a new qualifier? That will depend on the arrangements of the academy." Wang Si Miao said, "What did you encounter down there? Why is there only one teacher?" Sima Yue repeated Mo Bin's words to Wang Si Miao. Wang Si Miao was stunned. "I really didn't expect that there would be an immemorial altar below," he said in surprise. "But if that's the case, I think Director Mao and the others won't be able to come up for a while. Once something from the primordial era appears, I'm afraid that many forces will come snatch it. The academy should let us go back first." Sima Yue guessed. She guessed correctly. The teacher who brought them up received an order not long after to bring all the students back to the academy and call some other teachers over. 3 days later, all the students returned to the academy, but some teachers went to the Karma Desert. Mao Sen Quan and the others didn't come back, so the billboard competition was postponed. But the academy's teachers still counted the number of golden scorpions they got. Although many people only got 1 or 2, some people still got quite a lot, such as the Thunderbolt team. Others got a few dozen. It was rare to get 100. But they got at least 1,000, leaving others behind by a few streets. When the students heard the news, they were excited again. The Thunderbolt team had the least number of people in the academy, was established the shortest, and most of the members were freshmen. They created miracles again and again, which greatly stimulated the older students. Many people came to join them. Sima Yue saw this and went straight to the parting garden. Let Big Brother and the others handle these things. At this time, she was sitting leisurely in the parting garden, chatting with Su Xiao Xiao and Han Miao Shuang, talking about the Karma Desert. "I didn't expect the academy competition to be so dangerous," Su Xiao Xiao said. "Fortunately, you're all fine. If we knew, we would have gone with you." Han Miao Shuang said, "We have a lot of people, so there won't be any danger. But that ancient altar, it's such a long time ago, those people will definitely turn it upside down." Sima Yue said, "And I heard that more and more people are going there. This matter won't be solved in a short time. It seems that the billboard competition will be delayed for a long time. Many people used the golden scorpion's tail to exchange for cultivation points and went to the cultivation pagoda to cultivate." Sima Yue said, "All right, how's your team? How else can it be? I hear them howling every day, saying how many people came, how many people want to join our team. Even some teams want to join our team." Sima Yue said helplessly, "If it wasn't for the fact that they can't enter parting garden, I'm afraid they would come here. So Master's Place has become your refuge." Han Miao Shuang said with a smile, "The new students in the past weren't as powerful as you guys. Now in their eyes, you guys are no longer new students." "Sigh, I heard from Big Brother that the number of people in the team has increased by 20. They are all people who didn't join the team in the past." Even Yifeng, Tang Yin, and Mo Bin have joined. They joined too. Yeah, this was yesterday's news. I don't know how many people joined today. Sima US said with a headache. When they first formed the team, it was because they didn't want to join other teams. It wasn't because they wanted to expand. Now, they couldn't even hide from it. Then asked how many people joined today. Han Miao Shuang said with interest. Okay. Sima Yue took out the Sun Mother Stone and contacted Bei Gong Tang, asking her about today's situation. Today was good. Although many people came, not many were able to join. Bei Gong Tang's voice sounded very happy. What happened? Wang Si Miao came with Mo Bin and the others this morning and joined the team together. Then, they took charge in the courtyard. Yifeng took the lead and said that those who wanted to join the team had to beat Yifeng. So there were fewer people today. The corner of Sima Yu's mouth twitched. This was really an effective method. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.